Welcome to Learning Numerology. I use numerology every single day with every single client. What happens is that I have the client in front of me and immediately I say, just let me do your numerology just to let me see what your life purpose is. And what's very interesting is, they're like, okay, they go along with it. It does two things. It gives them the big picture, first of all, before we start. And that it gives me the big picture before we start as well. So what happens is it actually means that when I'm actually working with them, I'm in tune with their higher purpose and they are in tune with their higher purpose. And that's a really good start to doing a reading, doing a hypnosis session, doing a past life session, doing a life coach session, everything. So it's super useful. And I actually had a guy once who said, I don't believe in all this stuff. And I'm like, well, you know what? Just let me do it for my benefit. Let me just do it. And I started talking through it. And then he got his pen out and he started writing. And I said, what are you writing? He said, what was number 5 again? So, it actually is amazing how true it becomes. And I also make sure that when I've actually finished doing the numbers, when I see them again, I will redo the numbers, because what happens is, as you get used to doing numerology, it starts to actually filter in, and you start to intuitively pick up different things about the numbers. They look different the next time you see them. And you suddenly pick up something from a number and you'll find you're using your intuition with it as well. So that's really, it's an amazingly useful tool. It really is. And everybody loves it. And I always start any reading with the numerology. Number one, you're going to learn a lot more about them immediately. And of course, their age too, which helps, because, some people look like 90 and they're only 40, and some people are 90 and they look 40. So it's like really interesting how you can pinpoint a timing, and that timing is really important too. So let us make a start. We are going to have a look at the history of numbers. There we go. So here we are, screen sharing. All my trainings are under the Mind Super Freeway logo now. I've actually registered it. It is trademarked and registered. So that is really, I just wanted like an overall logo. Global Welcome was lovely. I've had it for 40 years. It really doesn't mean anything, but Mind Super Freeway, people understand. So here I am, Yvonne Oswald. That's a nice photo of me, master trainer. And my book is still in 11 languages. It's amazing. I'm number 3 in the world global guru. I need to change that. I've gone up 1. So the history of numerology. The earliest known records of the use of numerology come from Egypt, Babylon, Japan, Rome, and China. Everything in the known universe can be broken down to simple numbers, and each number conveys a meaning that corresponds to an action to be taken or a law to be understood. This is Pythagorean numerology. Pythagoras actually invented numerology. It was a later guy named it, Julian Stenton, Dr. Julian Stenton named it numerology, but it's been known for centuries. Okay, so the letters of the modern Latin alphabet are given numerological values 1 through 9. 0 is not a value in numerology. So what happens every 9 years, we start again with the 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And each year that you go through has an energy with it. So what we're going to do is find out what your energy year is this year, so you can plan for the next 2 or 3 years. If you're in an 8-year, for instance, and 8 years about money and ambition and self-worth, working on relationships that year is not probably a good thing to do. So you want to actually align the numbers with the year so that you're catching the wave of the energy. Numbers 1 to 9 are the basis of every other number, and numbers can be reduced to a single digit, and that's called the core number. You add each up to its individual digits. Number 12 reduces to 3 because 1 plus 2 is 3. Number 46 reduces to 1, and then 1 plus 0 equals 1. Do you get that? Does everybody understand that? Yeah? The master numbers 11, 22, and 33 do not reduce. They are special. They are master numbers, and when they appear in your reading, you know that someone's on a very important year or a very important path, especially if they're in the birth numbers. There is an interesting thing happening these days where they say if it's in your birth numbers, so if it's say November, people are still wanting to reduce November to a 2. And to me, it's a master number is a master number is a master number. You were born to illuminate others and illuminate yourself. So that really is important to me, that we leave the master numbers as they are. So we are going to make a start. I want you to actually write down your birth date in words. Here's what happens. In North America is the only place that has the month, then the day, then the year. Every other part of the world has the day first, then the month, then the year. I always put the day first. So mine's the 19th of March. So I will put 19/3 and then the year. And that's because the day you're born on is actually the most important number in there. It's what you show to the world. The year you were born is what your hidden values are, what you keep away from the world. So to me, I always put that day first so that I can look straight at it and know exactly where the person's going with that. Okay, so let's go on a little bit. What are the lessons I'm here to learn? The lessons correspond to the numerology life path number, which is established by your date of birth. To find this number, first convert the month you were born to a single number. So, for instance, the 16th of December, 1983. So let's have a look how that works. So 16th of December, 1983, this is just an arbitrary birth date. It's no importance to it. Convert the day to a single number. So 16 here. So 16 is the same as 1 plus 6. Do you understand how that works? Is 1 plus 6 equals 7. So 7 is this number. Then the month, December, is the 12th month. So it's 1 plus 2 equals 3. So we've got 7, then 3. And then finally, the individual digits of the birth year. So 1983 is 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 3 equals 21. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So we have 7, 3, 3. Then we add those numbers together with those 3 final digits. 7 plus 3 is 13. And 13 is actually a karmic debt number. So we're going to talk about that later. 1 plus 3 equals 4. So he has a 4 life path. I have a 4 life path too. It's probably the least easy life path to have, guys, if you come up with a 4 life path. So what you want to do is make sure that when you're doing someone's numbers, you're kind of aware of that. Having karmic debt behind it, it means that we've got some work to do this lifetime. So the 4 is the life path number of someone born on the 16th of December, 1983. What I would like you to do is make sure that you have your numbers laid out like that. If you have, put your hand up if you have an 11 or a 22 in your numbers, in your birthday. Nobody seems to have it? Okay.
I have a 33.
You've got 33 in your numbers?
In my numerology numbers. So when I added my birthday, 7/16/1963,
yeah,
it all equates to 33.
Okay, cool. So you leave it at that.
I leave it at 33?
Leave it at 33. Master number. Right? The biggest master number. It's amazing. Oh,
I have 11.
Chris, you're
I
here.
have 11 on my month.
11, just leave it as 11.
Mhm.
There's a big fashion thing these days going around that you convert it to 2. I don't believe that. I don't believe you're born on the 11th for any reason other than it's a year to get it. It's a lifetime to get illuminated and learn to illuminate others. So it's actually a teaching number. So for me, and you can do it your own way. Plus, if you wish, of course, you can do it the way that the recommending books. There's no reason why it should be in any order with the numbers. There is a good reason in your name, but not in your birth numbers. So you can do December, like the 12th of the 7th, 1983. And make sure that when you do it consistently every time. If that's the way you wish to do it, that's perfect. And be aware that the day is the most important thing. It's called the core number. The secondary core number is the year you were born. So the primary core number is the day. Secondary number is the year you were born. The month doesn't have any much relevance, apart from you'll see in a little while. Cool. So, purpose of the life path numbers. What we're going to do is look up the number which corresponds to your life path number. So these are the lessons you most need to learn. 0 does not exist in numerology. Okay, so let's go through the life path numbers. Put your hand up if you have 1 as your life path number. So it would be either 19, then 10, then 1, or just 10/1. You know what? Let me do an example first. Let's have an example. Lorna, we're going to start with you because I know you wanted to get off early. So Lorna,
Yes,
what is your
Yvonne.
birthday?
18 November 1964.
Oh, good. Then we can give a good example of those. Okay, so that's how I would write it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how I'd write it out. And then I would convert this. This is a 9 plus 11 plus 2. So 1964 ends up as 20. So that's the next stage.
Mm-hmm.
See that? Then I would add those together. 9 plus 11 is 20. So you have a 22 life path, Lorna. Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, I have
Yes.
a 22. That's how you did it. Okay, got it.
Did you
Mhm.
get the same? 9 plus 11 is 20, plus 2 is
Mhm.
22. So it's
Yeah.
as a master number. Here's the
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah, if you actually, if you turn that 11 into a 2, it doesn't come out as a master number.
Mm-hmm.
To me, you've got 2 master numbers. That's super important to know that you have a big job this lifetime. No pressure or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So going through this, I'm gonna we'll do a couple and then we'll go through and go through there. The 9 right up front is what you present to the world, and the 9 is a very interesting number. I'm going to repeat. I think I'm going to repeat these over and over again, so you'll finally start to get the hang of it as I do it, rather than just read through it arbitrarily. The 9, which is 18, 1 plus 8. 9 is kind of your Mother Teresa number. It's you throw yourself under the bus number. However, it can be used like that, or it can be used in a very powerful way. 9 is the last number in the life cycle, 1 to 9, and it's a completion number. So this is very definitely a lifetime when you said, Lorna, I want to complete this lifetime. I want to get my job done and move on to the next group of lessons. So the 9, Mother Teresa was actually really amazing. She was someone who actually literally they would say to her, come and talk for us. And she'd say, well, how much are you paying me? And they'd go, gosh, shock, horror, you're a nun. You can't be paid for talking. And she said, I've got millions of children to feed. The more money you give me, the more children I can feed. Of course, I want more money. And then they asked her to go to a war rally. And she said, nope, I will go to a peace rally. Right? So 9 can be super powerful when it's used the correct way. It's kind of the king or the pauper number. If you use it as a victim number, it literally means that you're going to, be the martyr at all times and be the victim. And we definitely don't want to use it like that. From a past life perspective, it probably means you were a martyr in previous lives. It probably means you actually gave yourself no real self-worth or anything else. The 11 in the middle, that's a master number. And there are 3 master numbers, 11, 22, and 33, remember? So the 11 means I am actually going to learn to illuminate myself this lifetime, and I will illuminate others as well. So you're an old soul. If you've got any master's numbers or a 7, you're an old soul. And the difference between old souls and new souls, I want to explain this. We're all the same age. The energy was created at exactly the same moment. So we can't have young souls coming in. That's not a possibility. What is a possibility is that there are people who are aware and there are people who are not aware. So everybody here today is aware you're an old soul. Everybody on this call is an old soul, 100%. Anybody who's a young soul just means that they haven't caught on to the idea that life has a purpose, that there's meaning to it, that we want to help others. It means that they're going through life kind of drinking, smoking, doing the old things, and not thinking about anything except themselves. So it's kind of not so much a lower vibration. It is a younger vibration. It's like someone who is a young soul doesn't really have a great awareness. I spoke to someone the other day and told them what I did, and she said, I don't believe in that stuff. And I'm like, okay, then not in my soul group, obviously, right? So be aware that the fact that you're actually interested in this means that you have that desire to learn. You're a lifelong learner. It's the most amazing thing. The more you learn, the more you'll want to learn. It's beautiful. So that 11 is really important. So Lorna, at some point in your life, you need to be teaching, training people. Right? And I know you're a leader anyway, so that's awesome. 1964 is a very interesting number because it adds up to 2. And 2 is the number of relationships. It says, relationships wasn't your strong subject. And it also says that in previous lifetimes, to me, you kind of split your life in 2. So it's like with that 9 and the 2, it means together, you were kind of the youngest child and you said, oh, it's okay, Daddy, you haven't got a dowry for me. I'll go into a convent. It's like sacrificing yourself for others. And this lifetime, we're not sacrificing at all. We're going to double the options. So 2 can be like a circle split in 2, or it can be the sign for infinity, which is 2 circles. Okay. This lifetime for you, Lorna, is about doubling your options, making sure you expand, making sure you travel, make sure you learn a lot, and open up people's minds. That adds up to 22. And 22 is the master teacher's number. So that really says, I am a master teacher. It's also the number of fame and success. So you said, this lifetime, I want to absolutely get out there and really change the world, right? Which is amazing. This is very interesting because with the 9 and the 2 there, it means there's plenty of lifetimes when you didn't get acknowledged, you didn't have self-worth, you didn't have that ability to get out there and change the world and leave your mark. What I always think about that is it's like you went to your last funeral and said, hang on a minute, how many people did I help? How many people are at my funeral? 3? Well, next time, guess what, everybody? I'm going to be famous. People will know I've been here next time. I'm going to make sure I get out there, right? So it's making a difference on a big scale rather than just a day by day, making people like you. So Lorna, with these numbers, you can be as famous or as not famous as you like. You would be famous within your field with the 22, or you could be actually world famous, right? So I know which way you should go, but there you go. What can I say? So that's really the first one. Well, what we'll do everybody's numbers first, and then we'll go through the purpose of the life path numbers. Will that work for people? Who's next? What, Deborah, is that you? Deborah, you're on. So unmute yourself. Can you hear? Got you.
May 31st, 61.
So that's how I've written it. Yes. Okay. The 31 adds up to a 4. So you definitely have a few things to sort out this lifetime. If you see any 4s in anybody's numbers, usually it means that they've been given an obvious choice to be to learn some new lessons, which means that you chose your parents well. And I do believe we choose our parents. I've done this for 40 years. You'll never convince me of anything else at this point. I've actually done it so much. The 5 in the middle is literally free choice in the universe. The 5 is the throat chakra, remember? The 4 is the heart chakra. So the 4 being the heart chakra opens up, it's a need to open up your heart. It's a need to not restrict yourself. So 4 can be a very interesting number. 4 can be 4 prison walls that you put yourself in, so a prison of your own making, or 4 can be a good foundation of a house, so 4 cornerstones of a house that you can build on. And what we want to do always with the 4 is aim it towards the building rather than the restricting. The 5 is the throat chakra, so it says you need to use your voice with your work. It says you need to open up people's lives with your voice. And the 5 also has the need to travel, the need to open up. It also, 5 is a number which actually says, I have a tendency to literally go to drink, drugs, alcohol. So it's definitely too many choices leads to addictions, right? So it is an addiction number. So 1961 is 16, 17. Oh, nice, interesting. Very, very conflicting numbers. I'm going to stop sharing because I think. Okay, perfect. So what we have here is, can everybody see me there in the middle of the screen? Yes, big picture of me. Cool, because I can't see that. So 1961 is an 8. 8 is fabulous because I've never yet met an 8 that I haven't loved. An 8 year, an 8 number, it's a really fabulous number. And it means you are here to find self-worth this lifetime and make your own money. So for sure with these numbers, we have some interesting karmic debt numbers there, which we're going to talk about later. When we add those together, we get,
Yvonne,
yeah, yes.
sorry, if you can show your the numbers, how you've added them, that's always helpful.
I'm not there yet.
Okay, when you're done. Thank you. Sorry.
No, I'm not quite there, but I will, right? So this is what I usually do. Can you all see that? Yes?
Yes.
And then when I add them together, 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 8 is 17. Yes? And then we're going to add 1 plus 7 here. Okay? So 1 plus 7 is 8. So you have an 8 life path. So by gosh, Deborah, you came in with some real need to make sure you start falling in love with yourself this lifetime, right? Because it literally says, in previous lifetimes, I have restricted myself for no good reason. I've locked myself into a prison of my own making. That's the 4. The 5, and I just went crazy. I was just like, I didn't have a voice, didn't find my voice, was quiet, just put up and being a victim. And I didn't have self-worth or made my own money. It was probably given to me. I was married off to the 85-year-old guy and had 10 kids, but never had any happiness. So the life path of the 8 is very definitely about self-worth and money, right? So those are your big jobs. When you use these numbers correctly, it's going to be fabulous, Deborah. That really is. It's because the 5, remember, which is May, is free choice in the universe. So I am determined to find my voice. Here's what would happen with these numbers in a childhood. You'd be born into a family group where you would have no voice. You would be born into a family group where you would have to break free. And you would also be born into a family group who knew how to make money. Do you see the logic behind that? Because once you start really looking at the numbers, you realize that everything you didn't know in a previous lifetime, you choose your parents to learn the lessons you need to know. Okay? So we're good so far? Any questions? Nope, good. What we'll do, halfway through, we're going to find this, I'm going to show you how to do the year for this year and find out what vibration you're on this year. So that's really good. Who's next? Speak up, please. Michelle? There you are.
So I'm 24 April 1961.
24th of April, 1961. Okay, so that's how I've written it. Anyone see that?
Yeah.
We add up 2 and 4, which is 24, and we get a 6. And usually that's the way I do it. I usually put a circle around it. It's a much faster way to do it than any other way. 4 doesn't need to be added up because it's its own number. It's already a single unit. 1961, 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 1. The 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 6 is 16, plus 1 is 17. And 1 plus 7 is 8, another 8. Wow, that's oh, interesting. You've got very similar numbers to Deborah, right? 4 is that 4 and the 8 as well. That's awesome. So what you show to the world is the 6, which is about relationships, which is about, you said this lifetime, I have to have a happy marriage. I'm not going to leave the planet until I actually have a decent relationship. That 6 is super important. That's how I've done it. Look,
Okay.
can you see the whole thing? Cool. And the 4 says, I've restricted myself before, you know, this is, and of course you're a Taurus, because of course the numerology fits in with the birth signs as well. So the 4 being a Taurus says, I have to learn about money and self-worth this lifetime. And of course, then you got the 8 with the 1961. So it's super important that A, you make your own money, B, you don't lock yourself in a prison for your own making, and make sure that relationships are something you know how to learn about. And I have watched you transform, Michelle, over the years into this most amazing, beautiful person who glows. Right. When I first met you, you were so not happy. And it was, you know, because you kind of asked for that. And remember that when you've got numbers that are incomplete, like the 4 or a karmic debt number, you're kind of born into a family where you have to break free from them. So I do believe you get your genetics from them, and then you can break free and become the person you said you wanted to be this lifetime. Okay. Adoption is very, very interesting to do with this, because what happens with the adoption is you get your genetic material from the father and mother, and then you have the environment of the adoption people, right? And what is interesting is if you've led a lifetime of throwing yourself under the bus for 2,000 years, you have to be born into a family that's pretty angry, because that, or leadership, or something where you would be pushed to get out there and just go, no, break me free from this, right? Anger is a great motivator, as we all know, but it's supposed to be a temporary motivator. It's not supposed to be something you feed on and feed on and feed on. It needs you to be restricted enough to say, I am done, I'm out of here, I'm going to be my own person. Once you've done that, you've passed your life test. It's awesome. Okay, we add those together and we get 10 plus 8, which is a 9. Holy cow, what a nice conflicting lot of numbers they are. 10, yeah, 9. Okay, so you see that? Right. And so you said my life path is a 9. It's a real, this is like a testing lifetime for me. This is the completion lifetime. I need to finish it. I need to get it over and done with. And I need to just move on and just learn how to be happy. Okay. The 9 also says you need to work with people. You need to do good in the world. Right. And if you've got the 9 and the 8, I need to do good in the world and I need to make good money doing it. And I know, tell us what you do, because I already know, but tell us what you do.
So I'm a nurse and I'm also a professor. So I'm teaching and I'm working as a nurse. Yes.
Exactly. So she's teaching and nursing, and she's also a life coach. So she's really doing exactly what you said you do this lifetime. With the 6, this is a very interesting number because you have 6 as what you show to the world. Okay. So what we see from Michelle is someone who's very happy, very good at relationships. We know that the 8 is inside, and that says, and I want more. I want more than this kind of thing. The nice thing about the 6 is the lower level of the 6 says, I want a happy marriage. If you take 6 to a higher level, once you've got that marriage, what happens then is that you open out and you can then bring your message to the world. It's a humanitarian number, the 6. So doing the teaching would be good to maybe set up an academy or write a book about it. And then you're actually taking it out to the world. You see how that works?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And what happens is when you've got children, of course, you've got to recognize that they chose the day they were born. And what happens, of course, in astrology, the day you were born, the planets were aligned just so. At 28 years old, Saturn returns and the planets are aligned in exactly the same way. So that it's almost like God just says, take 28 years, make all the mistakes you want. And then at 28, it says, can we talk now? Can we talk about what you really came here to do? All right. So 28 is a very significant year for most people. They will, they'll get married, they'll get divorced, they'll have a baby, they'll change their career. It comes in as a very strong energy that will change people's lives. Yeah. I can't see if anybody wants questions, by the way, so you'll have to unmute yourself and ask if you have a question. I have just my girlfriend of many years, who was almost like a daughter to me, just had babies, and she had 2 twin boys. Okay, which is kind of interesting because they were born on the 13th of March, the Pisces. Okay, and I'm going to show you how that works with twins because this is very interesting. It was I'm going to put boys. They came 3 weeks early, so they're going to be in an incubator for 2 weeks. Actually, they came a lot early. They're both 5 pounds though, which is really awesome. And that's not a happy beginning for them. Anybody who had incubation as a child, they often feel very much like they don't belong when they get older. So when you're working with people doing life coaching, you need to ask about the birth, please, when you're working with people. That incubation process, the nurses are lovely in the NICU. They don't talk to the babies much. They just open the door, stick a needle in the foot, and the baby's like, what's going on? And they feel very isolated, very much like they don't have that communication. So let me show you how it would work with twins. They were born the 13th of March, 2024. So theoretically, they should have the same life path. See that? Okay. The 4 up front says, we need to make sure that this lifetime we're not restricted. The 4 is not great to have in any 4 is the only number that I'm really not keen on. You need to know how to handle a 4. It's like having a lion inside you that you need to be able to tame. Okay. So the 4 says we're going to have a rocky beginning, right? The 3 in the middle, literally there, see? That 3 is the 3rd chakra, which is the chakra of self-empowerment. And that's really interesting because the self-empowerment chakra the 3 is an actual triangle, which is the most balanced number. It has an equal side for a triangle. It's a grounding number. It says in previous lifetimes, they did not have joy, balance, and harmony. So this lifetime, this is the lifetime when they have to have self-empowerment. They have to have joy, balance, and harmony. We have 2024 together, and we're going to do a lot of work around 2024 later. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Interesting. So the 8 with the boys there, that says, I need to learn not to restrict myself. I need to have joy, balance, and harmony, and I need to earn good money this lifetime. And both the parents are very, very self-empowered. The husband is an amazing man who earns lots of money, and he does it with the nicest possible way. He's a superman. Sheena, interestingly enough, was training to be a nurse when she got pregnant accidentally. A twin boy. So we add those together and we get 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We get a 6. That is very, very interesting. Because the 6, remember, having a 6 life path, and you'll pick up some of your own numbers as we're working through these, so I want you to just be aware of that. The 6 life path says, I need to have a happy marriage and I need to make a difference. Remember, the higher level of the 6 is marriage. Higher level of the 6 is making a difference. So very interesting. These 2 boys have got totally different personalities already. The smaller one is literally, he was the one who was wriggling around all the time. He was the one that was causing all the issues when she was pregnant. He was lying underneath the other one. The big one was just lying there cool, right? So one of those boys will number one, with the 4 and the 8, go into banking or into some kind of work with money and numbers, right? And they will have to have joy, balance, and harmony. The one who is the most ambitious probably will end up getting divorced, because the 6 says relationships isn't our best subject. So he will go ambitious. He'll get, go rushing into things. He'll be super successful. It'll probably be the second marriage which will actually work out well. The other boy will do an ordinary job, 9 to 5, whatever, or working with his hands probably. He might even take over his father's business because his father does that. He'll have joy, balance, and harmony. He'll be super easygoing, and he will actually earn good money, but not really make a fortune, and he won't be over ambitious. The interesting thing with the 6 here, he'll probably just get married and have a very nice life, right? So you've got the same numbers, and you'll have the different vibrations that you'll pick up from them as you get more intuitive with this work. Cool. Okay, next. Who would it be like to be next?
I'll go next.
Okay, Carol.
Thank you. So my birth date is 16/7/1963.
16th of July.
16th of
Okay.
July.
Make sure when you're asking people the numbers, they have to say the month, please, because especially in America, because they'll just go 4/3/93, and you have no idea which is the month and which is but I know that they say that would be April. I don't want that. I want to say, tell me in words what the thing is. Then you know that you're actually on the right track. 19 what?
So 16th of July, 1963.
15th or 16th?
16, 1/6.
1/6. Okay, I got that right. Good. So that's how it looks.
Okay.
Okay. Have you got an E on the end of your name, Carol?
Do I have, sorry, any in my name? Yes.
I thought so. I knew I'd missed something out.
My last name. Yeah.
So the 16 adds up to 7. 1 + 6 is 7. So she's got 2 7s. And then the 1963, 1 + 9 is 10, + 6 is 16, + 3 is 19. And if we add 1 + 9 together, we get 10. If we add 1 + 0 together, we get 1. That's how it looks. Got it?
Yeah.
We add those together. 7 + 7 is 14, 15, we get a 6. Wow. So, it's interesting, the combination of numbers. The 7 and the 7 says she's like such an old soul. She has so many life paths, lifetimes that, we don't even need to ask about them. You have a huge base of knowledge. However, that 1 says, I actually don't know how to be my own person. I don't know how to empower myself. So your job this lifetime is to learn to be your own person. And I've watched you change over the years, and I've watched you become more and more your own person. It's lovely. And it actually, the life path of the 6, the 7 is a spiritual growth number. So it says, I have to remain spiritual no matter what I do. So Carol went into banking, which is not really, according to these numbers, what she should be doing, because there should have been an 8, or there should have been, something that says even a 4 would work, because 4 is like an office work kind of thing. However, she's graduated to become a kind of her own person within that, which is very nice indeed. And she's a leader as well. 1 is a leadership number. So the 6 at the bottom here literally says, I have to have a happy marriage. It's non-negotiable. I will not leave this planet until I've worked on relationships. And what she's done is, relationships not your best subject, is it, Carol? She's really good with anybody else, with friends, with children, with everybody. What an amazing person. And then in personal relationships, she goes and gives away her power, right?
Yep.
So the 1 says, I have to learn in a relationship how to be interdependent, not codependent. If you can get your own person so much that you're not over influenced by them, then you'll have an amazing life path. Okay. Mishan, we didn't do Jim. Are you there?
Hello.
Sorry?
Is Jim there with you?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on.
Okay. Jim, what's your birthday?
It's 7/6/63.
Oh, don't do that to me. Told you not to do that. Is that the 7th of June or the 6th of July?
Oh, July 6th. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Exactly. So this is why you've really got to ask them the actual month, because otherwise it gets very, very confusing for us. So the 6th of July, did you say?
Yes,
6th of July, 1963.
63.
So we have 6, 7, 1963 there.
Yeah.
Okay. The 6 right up front says, have to have a happy marriage, non-negotiable. So that's great. The 6 is I know, and you're happily married, and that's fabulous. I love that. And it literally says, when you were young, you would not have had an example of a good marriage, right? So you had to learn how to make a good marriage, right? The middle number 7 says, I'm very, very old soul, probably been a priest quite a few lifetimes with that 7 in the middle there. Okay, 1963, again, adds up to 19, which ends up as a 1. Get it? There we go. Right? We add those together and we get 14. And 1 plus 4 is a 5. It's a 5 life path. See that?
Mhm.
Cool. So basically that says I have to have a happy marriage this lifetime. I have to stay spiritual, and I have to be my own person. So ideally working for yourself, being a consultant. With that 5 being in that place, 5 is the throat chakra. It says you have to use your voice with your work. You have to, even if you start out using your hands, you would end up working with people and telling people what to do, instructing them, being a teacher, etc. Right? So what do you do right now?
What, business owner?
Exactly. So business owner, great. Here's the thing. You've got some interesting numbers. There's nothing about money in there. Right. So you have to learn about money. It's not something that's important. These numbers are important. These are your life lessons. So what's more important is that you learn about money as part of that life lesson of being your own person. Right. So you will have a tendency to spread yourself too thin with that 5. You'll kind of take on too many projects, overwhelm yourself, and then get kind of caught up. So what we need to do is make sure that you keep your eye on how much money is this going to make. And the more money you make, the more people you can help. So you've got the 6 and the 7, which is about relationships and humanity. And the 7 is about staying spiritual and making a difference. So the more you gather in, the more you can send out. So money won't be your prime kind of thing this lifetime. You'll say, oh, it's not that important. It's important that I do this. It's important that I do that. And it's super important that you keep your eye on the money, because that will help you do your life path so much more well. Cool?
Okay.
Very good. Next, who would like to be next?
I'll go, Chris.
Okay, Chris. Thank
Hey.
you.
30th of November, 1954.
I love you. Exactly what we needed. Because Chris is American, so it's really useful. So that's what it looks like. Yeah. 3 plus 0 is 3. Right, that's it. Just 3. 11 in the middle doesn't change because it's a master number. 1954 is 9. Wow, another 19/1. How interesting. So let me tell you about this 19. It's kind of interesting. 19 is a number that literally says, I have to follow God's path for me. Right? So I put 19 and then I've done a forward stroke and then a 1. I have to learn to be my own person, but I also need to make sure that I pass all my tests. Right? So typically you're born into a family group where you would have a lot of lessons to learn. Yeah, I know. It's like very interesting. 3, 4, 15. Back to the 6 again. How many 6s have we got here today? 6 life path. So, oh wow, Chris, I can see why your childhood was like it was now. 1450. Yeah, it's a 6. So that is what we end up with, the 6. That
So why
says
did you separate the 1954, 910 and 19? Okay, 910, 19. Okay, I
19,
got
1 plus
Yeah,
9
I
is
got
10, and then the
Right.
1, right?
Okay.
So what that says is there's a big difference between 19-1 and 10-1. I'm going to talk about that later. Basically, the 6 says, I'm not good at relationships at all. Put me in a family group that is lousy at relationships so I can have a really good example of what not to do. Right? And that's it's like, okay, then. The 3 right up front, which is what she showed to the world, is literally balance, joy, and harmony. And she has to reflect that inside as well. So her job is to find balance, joy, and harmony inside. The 11 is a master number, and it says, I'm here to absolutely catch on. The lights need to go on this lifetime. I need to become illuminated. I need to have the lights go on, and then I can light up other people's lives, which is what you're doing beautifully. And of course, the 1 says, and I have to work for myself. No negotiation around that. Okay, so if you've got a 1 anyway, usually it doesn't make for a good business partnership. Okay, so very importantly, with the 6th life path, we have again, we've got the 6th life path that says I have to work on relationships this time. Okay, ideally, you need to have a really, really happy marriage. Even if you're lying in your coffin and you say, "Oh, you're cute. I'll see you next lifetime." It's like, you have to have that connection with someone. Here's the good news about that 6. You will be offered opportunities to have really good marriages. So anybody who's got a 2 or a 6 in your numbers, you're going to be offered an opportunity to have decent relationships. You'll have set up a pre-birth contract with people that you will bump into someone and then have the choice about whether they're the right one or not. However, given that you're not good in relationships from your childhood, you need to work on your childhood first before you can attract in that person. Do you understand the reasoning behind that? If you can work on yourself first, get to the point where, you know what, I want a happy marriage now. I want someone who's with me, who respects me and adores me, and I can do the same. Then and only then can we really know we passed our life test properly. Once you've got that happy marriage, you then say, together we can start a foundation. We can really open up some new directions for people. We can actually change the world. Right, so we start out with that lower level of the 6, which is marriage, and then we go up to the higher level, which is change the world. Cool. Questions, Chris? Now,
No, it's good. Good.
and
Thank you.
and you do work for yourself, and you are a trainer, teacher, and you're really good.
And I did have a happy marriage.
You did, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking today forward, but yeah, you were married to
No.
Larry for how many years?
20 years, yeah.
20 years, very happy marriage.
Mhm.
Yeah, so well done. You passed your lab test. Congratulations. So
Yeah.
you're now in bonus points.
Yeah, that's what you said to me when you did the palmistry. It showed up at
Oh, really?
I'm now in bonus. Karma's been taken
Amazing.
care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's like, what would I like? What's in it for me? All right. So it's like, thank you, I'll take it. Remember that you're not here just to learn to give. We all know how to give. Everybody here knows how to give. You need to know how to receive. Okay. So next, who's next? Speak up. I can't see who's.
Deshaun can go.
Okay, Michelle. Awesome.
All right. So birthday 27, month April 1965.
1965. Okay, perfect. So that's how we write it down. And of course, you're a Taurus, right?
Yes.
Tauruses are all about making money. So you'll start out with, I don't need to make money. It doesn't mean anything to me. And then as you get older, it's like, no, I want to make money. I want to have self-worth. We add, with 27, we add the 2 and 7 together and get 9. The 4 stays as 4 because it's like a grounding number. 1965 is, not 1 plus 9 is 10 plus 6 is 16 plus 5 is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. So we've got 9, 4, and 3. See that?
Mhm.
When we add those together, we get 9 plus 4 is 13, 14, 15, 16. It's a 7 life path. Wow, interesting. 9 plus 4, just check 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep, 7 life path. So that is your life path. In ancient Greece, if you had a 7 life path, you were accepted into the university without taking any tests.
Hmm.
Because basically they said, you are an amazing person. You're way older than us. You know way more than us. Come in. We'll be glad to learn from you. Okay. So it literally says you're a super old soul. You've been here thousands of years. You know, it's like really, and very interesting, that 9 right up front says, I want to know this lifetime that I'm not a victim. I'm going to rise to the top this time. Remember, the 9 can be bottom or top. This lifetime, you've said, I'm putting me first. I'm really, and the 9, remember, we present that to the world. That's your core number to present to the world. So we want to say that Michonne's a really amazing person who comes across as, she's absolutely amazing. I love it. You just come across as this amazing, help everybody, do everything for everyone, that thing. The 4, in this case, is quite interesting because the 4 can indicate a not good childhood. However, the 4 also says it's a business number. 4 is like a bank. If you think of 4 as that 4 foundations, it says that I need to keep my feet firmly on the ground this lifetime and not lock myself in a prison of my own making, right? So it's super important that you get that self-worth and valuation. 1965 is what's happening inside. Remember, that's what you hold close to your heart. So that is like holding in so that you can have joy, harmony, and balance. So always getting back to center, getting back to center. So very important. I know you took my classes this last year. That's marvelous because it means you know how to get to center again this time now. Even when everything's in chaos around, you'll know how to stay calm in the middle. Okay, fabulous. The 7 literally says, I'm sensitive. It's very interesting because the 7 is a very, in some ways, a lot airy-fairy number. It's like sensitive and nice and such a nice person. And I think about God and how I can help people and save the world and go to Africa and help the poor children. And you have the 4 directly above it, which is literally saying, keep your feet on the ground, make it practical, right? So yeah, that's actually quite a nice combination of numbers in the end. And you're doing really well. So what were you doing originally?
What do you mean? What was I doing originally?
Career.
Pretty much my whole career, I've been in the beauty industry and then have always done coaching as a side. It just worked.
Exactly. And now you're going into the higher level of the coaching, which is like executive coaching, which is to change the world. So she's got a good base. See, it really doesn't matter how you get there. You will get there in the end if you actually keep your eye on the GPS setting correct. Okay, very good. Well done. Okay, next person.
I'll go, Yvonne. It's Roxanne.
Hi, Roxanne.
So it's March 10th, 65.
And being a Pisces and all, Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. It's also the teacher, right? So I'm a Pisces, 19th of March. So, did you just have your birthday? Yeah, well done. Congratulations. Yeah, so the 10 right up front is really very, very important because that's a 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. And that says, I have to learn to be my own person this lifetime. 100%. It's the only big job I have to do. This is also why I always put the day in the first position. If you read most numerology books, they say put it in the middle. I don't think it has a place in the middle. I think it has a place right up front because this is me. It's kind of a statement about who you are. So that 1 says, I have to be my own person. So you'll be typically born into a family where you weren't allowed to be your own person, where there were too many rules to follow, where you were supposed to do what we say and not what we do, kind of thing. The 3 in the middle says I have to have joy, harmony, and balance this lifetime. Right? And being a Pisces, of course, you're a natural teacher. 1965 adds up to, another 3. Is that right? 16. Yeah, another 3. So we've got 1, 3, and 3. And And this is super interesting because we got the 7 again. Wow, this is so interesting today with everybody having similar numbers.
Yeah.
Please, I'm going to send you each other's emails because you are such an amazing soul group that you'll actually be quite amazed at how much you've got in common. There's your 7, right? So Michan took it that having that 4 in her numbers, the 4 said, I'm staying down to earth, my feet on the ground. Roxanne said, I need to be my own person and I need to get on with people. She's got a double 3, which is about joy, balance, harmony. And it's also about self-empowerment. So getting self-empowerment is really your main job, Roxanne, here. The 7 says, I have all these amazing ideals and I want to change the world and I want to help. And the 7 doesn't have the grounding enough to do it. Okay, so what we've got to do is learn. That's why learning to be your own person, interdependent, independent is your biggest job you have to learn to do this lifetime. Okay, what career are you in? Remind me.
HR admin.
HR. Oh, see, brilliant. Admin, though, interesting. You see, HR for you would have been brilliant if you'd gone on the people side. You would right now be talking at conferences and making a difference, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you took the cautious route and went into administration in HR. So yeah, these totally are numbers for HR. So, and Roxanne's doing coaching. She's learning. She did the master's at NLP, which is amazing. So you're heading that way, which is beautiful. And when we do the year by year, we're going to find out what exactly you have coming up this next year for you. Well done. Yeah, they're very interesting numbers, Roxanne. Described you a lot. Next. Who's next?
I'll go
Okay.
next.
Okay, who's this?
I'm sorry, is it me or who else?
Gwen.
Did
I
somebody
can't
else?
see it. I can't see who it is
Oh,
because I've got little pictures. So
okay.
Gwen. Okay, Gwen, what's your birthday?
The 6th day of September,
5th or 6th?
the 6th,
6th of
6th,
September.
1963.
Oh, a lot of 63 people this year. Interesting.
Mhm.
So 6/9/1963, ready? Like that. So 6 just stays 6, 9 just stays 9. 1963 we already know is 19, it adds up to. 1 + 9 is 10. 1 + 0 is 1. So that's what you have. Yes?
Mhm.
And we add those together and we get 7 again. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So cool. 7 life path. Holy cow. So the 6 right up front, which is what you present to the world, says relationships not my best subject. Sorry. That's right, really. Gave it a go. Didn't work very well, right? So yeah, you'll find until you've got that 1 there, which says I have to learn to be my own person first before I can have a decent relationship. So again, back to childhood where you would not have been allowed to express yourself fully. Okay, so that you could break free and say, excuse me, I have a voice, right? The 9 in the middle and the 7 says, I'm such a giving person. Giving is breathing for me. I'll put myself right at the bottom of the pile because you're so much more important than me. Not from today, girl, right? It's like the 9, we have to live the big picture of the 9, which is, you know what? I can be great. And I'm going to say what's in it for me because I'm about to complete this lifetime with everything I want. Okay, so think of you're the Mother Teresa, not a wishy-washy Mother Teresa. We want a real go-getter Mother Teresa. Okay, 1963 being a 1, that says I have the vibration of someone who needs to be my own person, like inside. So as a child, remember that's the inner you, the second core number, and that's so interesting because what it says is even when your parents were telling you what to do, you were going, whatever. I don't believe that. So I don't think so. Yeah, I'll be in at 8:30, Mum, but you won't know what I'm doing at 8 o'clock. Right? It's like very interesting. So the 7 life path again says, I'm sensitive, I'm very much a giver, I want to do good in the world. So if we're looking career here, this is a really interesting thing because these numbers owe themselves to teamwork at the same time you've got the 1. So that would be working in a team, but being the head of the team. So what do you do career-wise? What?
Well, I was in the financial, I was in bank and I retired just about a year ago. And
Okay.
now I'm doing Reiki, hypnosis, Akashic records, and
Look at that. Isn't that
yeah,
marvelous? Exactly. So that's fabulous because you got the grounding of the bank, you got the
yeah,
practicality, feet on the ground, and now you're going back and owning the 7 and the 9, which is the spirituality, and working with people, which is the 6. Brilliant. You're bang
yeah.
on. Right on with that, Gwen. Good job.
Perfect. Thanks.
Excellent. Right, who's next? Are we done, everyone? Or
Is everyone else gone?
Jake,
Oh,
is that
okay.
you?
Me too.
Jake,
Yeah,
back to you.
I haven't gone yet.
No, I've not. You need to talk up fast because I have no idea how many people I've seen. So Jake, here we go. What's your birthday?
18th of March, 1991.
Day before mine. Pisces are great. We're good people. Everybody else is good people too, but so we have 1 + 8, which is a 9. All right, this is what it looks like. Plus the 3 is just 3. 1991 adds up to 1920. So it's a 2. 1 + 9 is 10, + 9 is 19, + 1 is 20. So it's a 2. So there are your numbers. Yes. So the 9 says right up front, giving is breathing. For me, I help everybody in the universe. Right. And then, but I have to have joy, balance, and harmony. And the 2, remember, 2 has some interesting nuances with it. 2 is about relationships. So it says I have to learn about relationships this lifetime. And what's important about that 2, we want to make sure that you double the options, not halve them. Right. So I want to spread my wings. I want to expand outwards this lifetime. We add those together and we get 12, 13, 14, a 5 again. Wow, that's fabulous. So 5 is a great number. Has a tendency, like we know it when it's a life path, to go into addictions and things like that. But you'll know you've got a really sensitive system. So you can't overindulge. You can't, I never went that way because I know that I'd love it. Everyone used to, at school, used to say, try these drugs. And I go, nope, because I love it. It's not a path I'm going this time. Right. And they just accepted it when I said, no, thank you. I know my whole life would be gone if I did that. Okay.
Your life path of 5 as well?
Sorry?
You're saying your life path is 5 as well?
No, mine's a 4. No, it's
Okay.
being the Pisces typically has that kind of tendency. Pisces and the 5 together have that tendency. Okay. So the 5 being a 5, it says I need to use my voice for my work, which you're doing beautifully. And it says I have to give myself free choice in the universe. I have to do 2 jobs. So here's the interesting thing with you. You'll crave a partnership. You'll crave to have people around you, like helping you and supporting you. You're better working for yourself. Right? Because that 5 says you probably won't be as diplomatic as you should be. That 5, it's like he's found his voice. And once you find your voice, tend not to be so diplomatic after that. Right? So ideally, we want to work for yourself, help people, have joy, balance, and harmony. And literally, these are nice numbers. There's literally, it just says I need to learn to be happy this lifetime. Right? So no paybacks, no big like, no, I'll throw myself under the bus, etc. You've done that for 2,000 years. You don't need to do it anymore. This is a lifetime when you really need to get grounded, make a difference. Here's what's interesting with the 2. It says I have to have a decent relationship. And that will be where you've got to really work a little bit and make sure that you have a decent relationship, right? So tell everyone what you're doing right now.
I have a full-time neurofeedback business,
Yep.
and I'm transferring to doing coaching full-time.
Yeah. So he's got a biofeedback business where he measures people and tells them the brain waves, etc., and changes them. And he's going transferring over into coaching, which is great. That 5 is about using your voice. The 5 is about public speaking. The 5 is about travel. It's about opening all the doors you can, okay, within reason, right? So very good, perfect transition time, excellent.
Yes, it's Yoshi. Hi, Dr.
Hi,
Ivan.
Yoshi.
Hi, February 9th, 1974.
9th of February, 1974. Okay. So that's how it looks. And anybody who chooses to do the other way, you can put 2, then 9. I don't recommend you do that just because it's going to confuse you. Right. So 9 right up front is the core number. And that literally says, this is what I present to the world. This wonderful, beautiful girl who wants to save the world. And I know she does. I love Yoshi. And you have changed so much over the years as well since I've known you. It's been amazing. The 9, though, is a little disadvantage in here because 7, you've got 3. Okay. Because you've got the 2 as well. The 9 literally says, and because you're an Aquarius, right? Is that an Aquarius? Oh my God, the Aquarius is like, let's save the world. Let's just throw ourselves under the bus and just give it, you know, this is the dawning of the age. You know, so we got to get the airy fairy out and we got to get the grounding in. All right. So the 9 says every lifetime for 2,000 years, boy, I've loved helping people. Giving is breathing for me. Okay. And we have to kind of make that grounded. We have to, it's not good just to give, you have to learn to receive as well, which is one of your big jobs this lifetime. The 2 in the middle says, I can have half a life or I can have double a life. And I have to have a good relationship this lifetime. I have to make sure. So again, Yoshi is great with everybody, with friends, with people, etc. Relationships, not your top subject. So I know. And then 1974 adds up to a 3. It's 21, and then it adds up to 3. Okay, and 3 is about self-empowerment, joy, harmony, and balance. We add those together, we get 12, 13, 14, another 5 life path. Wow, you guys are really synchronizing today very nicely. So we have here the 5 life paths. So that says this lifetime, I need to help everybody because that's who I am. I need to make sure that I have good relationships, I have self-empowerment, and I want to let my voice be heard. And I want to travel, and I want to get out there and make a difference, right? And that's what you're doing beautifully. So living out in the countryside is not the answer, as we know, right? I know she's right. She's in Costa Rica in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, I don't like living in a town, though. It's too noisy. It's like, no. In the town is where you have to be this lifetime. You have to be where you can make a real difference and make it count. Okay. And that's really, and here's the interesting thing about the 5. It's free choice in the universe. It says, if you just want to just drift through life, that's fine by me. But really, you know, if you really want to be happy, you need lots of people around you and feel supported and have be part of a community. Cool. So yeah, we know which way you need to go. We'll do when we do your year by year, you'll get the right direction there. Who's next?
Okay, Yvonne, it's Many. And Yoshi, I have the same birthday. I'm February 9th as well. So hello, fellow Aquarian. So I'm February 9th. My year distills to a 5. So I'm February 9th, 1967.
So we add those together. So 9 and 2 stay the same. 1967 adds up to 75, 23. Exactly. We add those together.
It's a 7. I just want to confirm I'm on the right track and calculate.
16. It's a 7 again. Wow, you guys. I am not kidding you. This is a soul group that you have to meet everybody. It's like very interesting. So that's what we have.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I got too. Yep.
So the 9 up front says giving is breathing for me. We know that. And it says, if I can use it properly and not split myself in 2, which is that 2 in the middle of February, I can get out there and really, really make a difference. I can be a Mother Teresa, but by gosh, I'm a grounded person. Okay. The 5, which is the 1967, says I have to have free choice. Nobody's going to tell me what to do or how to do it this lifetime. Forget it. You think you can tell me what to do? Not right. If you want to tell me what to do, even if I know it's not going to work, I'm still going to do it my way. Right. So there's a bit of stubbornness in there with that one. The 7 life path is definitely one that's going to change the world, is going to actually open up. And these numbers are really good and they feel quite grounded. Now, this is where you'll start to use your intuition. even though Yoshi has the almost identical numbers, these literally, they feel different. I can't even explain it. As you do more and more, you'll just get the feeling from them that this is someone who counts, who's making it happen. Okay, so yeah, you're doing super well with that. Very, very interesting. What are you doing now, Minnie?
I'm environmental clean tech for municipalities and industries. I deploy technology that is more environmentally sustainable, more natural. So we're taking chemicals out of the process, the treatment process.
Yeah. And that's very interesting because that doesn't account for the 5. So what happens is we had just the 9, the 2, and the 7 working with the environment would be amazing. The 5 says, I have to make everybody know about this. I have to use my voice to find out. So writing a book or getting out there and really getting on the stage and doing some TED Talks and things. That would be the perfect way to run these numbers.
This is my second career, right?
Your first one?
My first was international trade law compliance.
Oh, isn't that interesting? So
and I did tour around and speak a lot on
that would not have been a career you would have adored. I like the speaking part of it. However, the compliance, you're not someone who needs to comply.
It's ironic, isn't it?
I know, isn't it? So what's going to happen with this, you couldn't have been a lawyer. You would have not enjoyed being a lawyer. You would have said, well, I know it's the law, but can we wriggle around it a little bit and change it?
It didn't complete. I studied law, I didn't complete because I found quasi-judicial.
Exactly. No, you would have seen every side of the topic, and you would have seen everybody's point of view. You would have been a great negotiator, but not a great lawyer. All right. So yeah, very, very interesting. And yeah, you're doing good. And I like the teamwork numbers from these as well. It's like you work for yourself. However, at the same time, you enjoy being part of a team. That these numbers are very much team. The 2 is a team worker. Okay, so having partnerships will be good for you. Very, very nice indeed. So very good, Manny. Awesome. Okay, so we are going to go back to the slideshow, and we're going to go in a bit of depth. There we go. Purpose of the life path numbers. Here we go. So number 1. If you have a number 1 anywhere, especially as the life path number, it says you're here to learn individuality, leadership, originality, ambition, independence, innovation, sexuality. So it's quite a powerful number, the 1. You need to be a leader. And of course, leadership goes with power, goes with, sexuality, because it's like, yeah, that base chakra, it needs to get out there and do things. Cool. Number 2, the empath. So you're empathetic, need to learn about relationships, cooperation, teamwork, balance, friendship, intimacy, mediation, sensitivity. Okay, so if you've got 2 anywhere, that's 2 is a life path, that's your job. If you've got 2 anywhere else, it means that's what you need to focus on. Number 3, the worker. 3 is the self-empowerment number. Remember, it's the 3rd chakra. And remember, if we're using chakras with this, as we can, number 1 chakra, the base chakra, is that fight for life. It's that leadership. It's that grounding in the reality. Number 2 is the 2nd chakra, the chakra of change. It's orange and passion and getting out there. Number 3 is the self-empowerment chakra, the solar plexus chakra. And that's creativity, artistic endeavors, optimism, self-empowerment, self-expression, artistic, balance and harmony, love and beauty, sociability, happiness, joy, and the ability to express, and self-empowerment. So, the 3, remember, is the middle of the 7 chakras. It's the balancing, it's the fulcrum of the energy. So 3 is about means in previous lifetimes you did not have balance. So if you've got a 3 in any of your numbers, it means this lifetime you have to keep focusing on being balanced. Cool? Any questions so far? It went into capital letters, not sure how, but I did the same as before. Number 4, the rebel. Number 4, as a life path, not a pretty number as a life path. It means you really do need to do some work on yourself this time. I know I have a 4 life path, and my best friend used to be Gordon Spowett. He was the Numerology Institute of Canada. He was the one who kind of got me into the numerology, actually. Died a few years ago. And he actually said to me, oh, he says, Yvonne, he said, most people only have 4 karmic debts in their numbers and name. He said, you've got 12. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm here to work for God. I got that. So really, the karmic debt numbers, we're going to talk about them, are the ones that really, you know, you've got a job to do before you can be happy. Okay. So 4 can be a good number if it's used as a grounding number, if it's used as a year when you can get a good foundation, right? So perseverance, hard work, self-discipline, reliability, organizational skills. That's why a 4 person can be really good in an office environment. Patience, practicality, the physical body. So that means in previous lifetimes, you were not great with the physical body. This lifetime with any 4, you need to focus on what is your physical body going to do this lifetime. Are you going to look after it? Limitations and dependability. So 4 people are very, very reliable, very predictable, and depending on what the other numbers are, what the core numbers are, it depends how you express that. Okay. Once you get over being a 4, you can have a fabulous life. And what's interesting about that 4, it can have a hidden 22. So somebody had a 4 life path. Who was it? Deborah?
Me, Yvonne. It's
Right,
me.
let me show you how to...
It's Lorna.
Oh, Lorna. Sorry. No, you've got a 22 life path. You haven't got a 4.
Oh, I thought I had a 20. I thought it was turned out to be a 4. So
No,
you're just saying it's just a plain 22. Okay.
Fabulous. Okay. So do you remember when we were talking to Jake and I said you can, if you've got a 4 life path, you can add up the numbers vertically as a sum, 4 columns, right? And what happens is when you do that, you end up with a final number, say 1970, hang on, I don't know what it would be, but it would end up as a 22, not a 4. And then you have it's what's called a hidden 22, which is if you can get over the restriction of being a 4, you can be famous. Okay. I remember clearly on my 28th birthday, I decided to change my whole life because I had a near-death experience and I stopped being a victim and restricting myself. I just went out there and decided to make a difference. Okay. 5 is the communicator, needing to learn to communicate, needing freedom, communication, challenge, adventure, initiating change, travel, fun, multitasker, and battling addictions. I've not necessarily found that battling addictions is super strong with the 5, unless it's got something like 4 with it, or unless it's got some other restrictive numbers. Usually though, the 5, I like 5, so it's quite a good number. It's an expansion number. It's like open up 5 new doors. The 6, the love of the cosmic mother. So it's about love, nurturing, family, happy marriage, caring, generosity, support, emotion, wisdom, responsibility, justice, and equality, the lover. And of course, the lower level, as we said, of the 6 is happy marriage. Higher level of the 6 is change the world and teach everybody what I know about being happy. Going on one page here. There. Number 7, the sensitive artist. So there's quite a few 7s today. So your job is to get spiritual growth and self-awareness, study the occult, learn about intuition, analysis, overcoming negativity. So 7s have a tendency to get a bit depressed sometimes. Understanding life's purpose. So it's learning the little picture and the big picture. So it's actually being aware of, you know, the ground and God. The 8 number, the individuality, it's about money. So anybody who's got any 8s anywhere, you need to be able to earn your own money in any position, especially the life path number. And an 8 is of course about self-worth. So knowing how worthy you are. I know a lady who has 8 as her life path number, and she's married a very, very wealthy guy, and he's kept her totally under his thumb. So she's actually not passed a life path because she doesn't have that individuality. She doesn't have her own money. She's just there, right? It's about learning business and power, passion, success, financial success, and rewards. So 8, remember, if you pop it on its side, becomes the sign for infinity. I give to you, you give back to me equally, right? And of course, everybody in this group is someone who knows how to give. Put your hand up if you know how to give. Everybody does. You need to learn how to receive as well, because it has to be a balance of energy coming in and going out. If we can focus on what's in it for me, what you'll find is if you start thinking, well, what's in it for me? Am I getting anything back for this? If you're not getting anything back, or you're doing it with resentment, you just don't do it. You say it doesn't work for me. Okay. The 9 is the people's champion, the service to humanity, letting go, development, empathy, understanding, honor, selflessness, endings, health, divine, and unconditional love. So if you've got 9 as a life path, it literally says, I have to make a difference this time. Really is the Mother Teresa's number at that point. If you've got 9 in another position, one of the 3 positions, then what's going to happen with the 9 is you're going to be always remembering that you are the people's champion, that you are selfless, and you also need to balance that. Okay, so we've got 3 more numbers, and here's the fabulous thing about numerology. There's only 12 numbers to learn. That's it. Okay, so the next one, 11. So the 11 is the master number. If you have 11 in any position, and I do believe even if it's November, it doesn't go down to a 2. I keep reading about people these days who are making it into a 2, and it's a master number. Okay, it's about teaching. It's about illuminating others, becoming illuminated myself, and then illuminating others. Inspiration, objectivity, intelligence, and vision. So I like 11s. It says at some point in your life, you need to be training people or teaching people. Once you've learned your lessons, you need to teach others those. The 22, 11 and 22 will come up quite commonly. 33, not often. And it usually only comes up as a life path number occasionally. And like I said, I would love 33s to live the 33. So 22 is the master builder, success, prestige, fame, application of knowledge, purpose, and achievement. So it's essential that you can do the lower level of the 22, which is being famous within your field and getting awards at work. Or you can do the higher level of the 22 and write a book, get out there speaking, make a difference, go and teach, go and really, really change people's viewpoints on things. The 33 is the master teacher, Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, Allah consciousness, changing the world for the benefit of humanity. And like I said, all the 33 life path people I've met are the dreamers. I'm not, maybe I met them when they were younger, and later on they'll be kind of practical and make it happen. And it's really interesting because I did not expect that. Anytime I've met a 33, I've been kind of, wow, you're not quite there yet. Okay. However, it says underlying everything, they do have the ability to, if they make it practical, they have the ability to be the star of the world. Okay. So your base number is found by adding up the digits of the day you were born. Shows how you show up in the world. Your base number is what I call the core number there, the base number. So the day you were born, your energetic vibration shows how you show other people. Your second base number is found by adding up the digits in the year you were born. That's the inner core you don't let people see often. That's why actually I like the date at the first and then the year at the end, so we can actually see what's the base and what's the second base. Any questions about that so far? And Deborah, did you? Yes.
Sorry, what happens if, say, your due date for birth is, I don't know, January 1st, as an example, and you needed to be induced into labor a week before?
Yep. Not having kids.
No. Okay, all right. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's no impact. You just go by the date you were born. That's
You're
it.
born by the date you're born. Yeah, those 2 little boys I was telling you about, they were supposed to be
Right.
born the 29th of March.
Right. Okay.
13th they came on. And I actually said to her, I don't want them on the 29th. You'll have 2 Aries, which are not easy kids to work with. She's got 2 beautiful Pisces. Hello. No, and like I said, even though they're born on the same day, and actually I must ask her which one came out first, because that's going to be the leader. Okay.
And the other question yeah, perfect. Thank you. And the other question I have is there numerology for when we exit this world?
The date
Yes.
you die? Ah, okay, okay. I know you'll
So
cover.
here, no, I'm not going to cover that. However, what I do believe with this is while you're doing those 1 to 9, 1 to 9, 1 to 9, 1 to 9 years, you have an exit point. You have various exit points. You're given choices about when you can die. So if you're, for instance, in the middle of a 9-year and you come across a 7-year, I usually regard a 7-year as something which is outside of you. It's a wake-up number, right? But a 9-year is a year of completion. So it could well be that in a 9-year, you pop your clogs and decide to go to the great unknown. However, you will actually come to, it's called it's a thinning of the thread. Right, so you have a beautiful cord going through your life, and at some point the thread will thin, and at that point you will have a choice whether to break the thread and die, or whether to continue, make it stronger. I know when I was 28, I had a near-death experience. I remember leaving the body. I had hepatitis and Lyme's disease at the same time. I went into total organ failure, left the body, and I was standing in front of a lady in white, my lady in white, and I said, what's happening? And she said, you have a choice. And I said, about what? She said, you can leave. And I said, what would happen if I leave? She said, you'll die. I said, what will happen if I stay? She said, you will change thousands of people's lives. And it's interesting because my one thought was, oh, I wouldn't get to say goodbye to my boyfriend and my mom. And then I woke up the next morning, they were breaking the door down to get me out, and I was called off to hospital for a month. And it was after that I actually left teaching and went into doing readings, numerology, palmistry, tarot, etc. And very interesting how you are given a choice. And my mother was 91 when she died 3 months ago. Her whole 80s, she had choice after choice. She came to death this close at least 4 times. We were all ready to go over there and plan the funeral. And she woke up the next day and she said, I've just done the garden, darling. It's very nice out there today. Like, what the heck? And literally she was in hospital. She had a fall, ended up in hospital for 2 weeks. She was fine. And then they told her that she had to go back home. And she said, I don't want to go back to an empty house. I've had enough. I've been by myself for years now. I'm done. Next day she was in a coma and she was gone.
Wow, thank you.
See what I mean? So yes, there is the possibility, and you'll find a 4-year is usually a year when you really need to look at your physical body. We're going to talk about how to get those years as we go through the day. If anybody wants to go washroom or anything, by all means, go take yourself off and come back. I'm just going to carry on right through. I can do this for hours. So, and make sure you keep drinking water here. So yeah, that's a really good question, Carol. So yeah, you're going to come across the numbers where you have a choice year rather than an absolute, that's it kind of thing. Okay, good. Next.
Can I just go back to number 5 for a second?
Yes.
Did you say did I hear you say correctly that the communicator could author a book or write a book and express himself?
100%. 5 is really write a book. Use your voice. Use your voice to change the world, and your voice can be written in a book as well. Remember.
Okay. Wow.
100%. 100%. 5s are all great travelers, great communicators. Really need to go for that freedom, and it's challenging a 5 life path. However, it also says I have to get my voice heard. Cool.
Fascinating.
Dr. Yvonne? Yeah, I just quickly did the numbers. There's 4 7s, 1 9, 6 3s, 3 6s, and 4 5s in this group. We only have 7, 9, 6, and 5. And you just said 5 is for changing the world, but the 7 is also changing the world?
7 tends to be, it can change the world. It tends to be a bit more wishy-washy. The 5 is like, let me out of here, guys. Here, listen to me. The 7 is like the social worker, the person who does a big job but isn't really loud about it. Okay. If you've got an 8 there or a 1 there, 100%, that's going to make 7 more like a 5. It's going to be louder. You get what I mean? And 7 is 100% about changing the world if you can get a handle on the other 3 numbers.
It's interesting, our group. I'm just saying.
It is interesting how many 7s there were. Absolutely fantastic.
Sevens and fives, the same amount.
Yeah, I know. Really interesting. So this
So
is the
Yvonne,
yeah.
sorry, hi, it's Gwen. I just have one question. I missed about the base number. Like, what's the meaning behind that? The second base
The
number?
base number is what I was calling the core number. It's how you show your face to the world, how you show up in the world.
So what is the second base number then?
The year of your birth.
And what does that relate to?
That relates to the inner you. Can you see the screen, the bottom there?
Okay,
The
okay.
you that you don't let people see often.
Yeah, okay, now I see it, yeah.
The notes I made, I was up till 3:30 the other morning doing them. The notes I made are a lot more detailed, but I really made the PowerPoint so that it's super easy to understand. It was not easy getting it into an easy format so people could just get it. Are we doing okay so far? Are we everybody caught up with us? Awesome. You're such an intelligent group. It's so nice. Okay, so your personal year cycle. I love to do this. This is my favorite thing to do. Tell you for why. It means the personal year cycle gives you the vibration of this year. So 2024 adds up to 8. So this year is actually a really good year for most people because, and especially someone born in 2024, because it's the number 8. I've never yet met an 8 that I didn't love. 8 years are fantastic. 8 life paths are great. It's a very, very interesting thing. So to find the universal year cycle, we add up all 4 of the letters of the numbers of the year. So, and it's called the universal year because there were so many people born that year, right? It's not your own number. It's everybody born in that particular year has that agenda. Okay. So the universal year, look, for 1999, 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 adds to 28. 2 plus 8 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. So 1999 is a 1 universal year. If you're born in 1999, your universal year number is a 1. Universal year for 2002 isn't 22, it's just 2 plus 2. Get it? It's 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 4. Everybody with me there? Universal year for 2003, 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 3 is 5. So that's a 5 universal year. Universal year for 2009 was 11. So 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 9 is 11, doesn't reduce, it's a master number. So anybody born in the year 2009 had a big job to do. Right? They came in knowing that there was work to be done. Universal year for 2024, number 8. So this year, last year was not an easy year. Remember, last universal year was 7. And 7 is a year of spiritual growth. So I don't know anybody who had a brilliant year last year. Especially not in the work we do. It turned out to be a year that was like, oh my gosh, when's the next thing going to happen? Right? Like, So it kind of did a roller coaster thing with everybody. This year is a beautiful year for settling down and getting the energy going in the right direction. Okay. In an 8 year, it's all about success, self-worth, and money. Right? So to find your own personal year and add together the usual 4-digit numbers in your birth date, and you replace the birth year with the universal year. And I'm going to show you how to do that. We'll just go through everybody again, because I think this is the simplest way to do it. Okay. So Lorna, we're back to you. Are you here with us still?
Yes, I am.
Good. So if you look.
So 1964.
Yeah, I'm going to. I can't see myself. Oh, there I am. Okay. So we have you there, right? So 1964 there, you're going to do it differently to find your personal year this year. You're going to still do the 18, which is a 9. You're still going to do the 11, and you're going to replace 1964 with 2024.
Ah, okay.
Do that. So everybody please do that so that you're with me when I get there to you.
Okay.
This time then, it will add up to a different number. We have 9, we have 11, and we have 8. We add those together, 28.
So 1. Mhm.
One. So it's a 1 year for you.
Mhm. Great. Mhm.
Got that? A
Yep.
1 year is new beginnings. So
Mm.
let's have a look and see what that is. I've put this whole thing in for you. A 1 year, your personal year influence is a high energy year of new beginnings, creativity, and initiation of change. A what's in it for me year of self-focus.
Mhm.
It's like, excuse me, am I getting anything back there? No, move on by. Thank
Mm.
you. Princess here. Right? So
Mhm.
very important that you know that this is a year of new beginnings. It's a year of starting new things. If we go back a year, Lorna, we get to a
Mhm.
9 year. 9, remember, is last year for you. 9 was a year of completion. And it's also a year of letting go of things that don't serve you in a 9 year.
Mhm.
Get it? So if
Mhm.
you had let lots of things go last year, I think you did, right?
I did. Mhm.
Then you come into a 1 year clean. It's like a
Mm.
clean 9 years for you. If you
Mm.
didn't let go last year, so if you hang on to a relationship 2 year, I've been working with someone recently that was in a 9 year last year, should have been out that relationship in a new year, still dragged it over into this year, and he's making himself ill. Right?
Uh-oh.
So that's really why you need to be aware of not just the year you're in, but the year before and another 2 years ahead. We need to be able to predict a little bit where we're going towards. Okay.
Mhm.
So you're in a 1 year this next year. So 2024 is a 1 year.
Mhm.
2025, we need to add up the numbers separately because it might be a 2 or it might be an 11. So
Oh.
let's do that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 29. It's an 11 year next year for you. It's 29. It's not a 2 year.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's an
So
11 year. Uh-huh.
an
I
11
see it.
year is about opening up your vision, about learning what you want to teach, how you want to go into the world with light, how you want to spread. So Lorna, we've got you with 2025 here, which is an 11. See that? So we're doing your own personal year this year. That's an 11. And then 2026 is a 3 year, which is a year of self-empowerment, which is amazing. We have to know what the following year is, though, whether it's a 4 or a 22. So the only 2 years you really do need to add up are the 2 years and the 4 years. So let's see. 2026 we know is a 3 year. 2027 is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 22, it's a 4 year. So Lorna, with your 2027 in your 4 year, that is a year you have to decide really which way to go. It's a very strong year for making decisions. It's a great year for moving house, a 4 year. So it's really good for opening up things like property, grounding, changing jobs and working for yourself kind of thing. Or it's also about giving yourself some freedom, because the following year after a 4 year is a 5 year, which is a freedom year. Get it? So we definitely want to go to 2028 for you, which is a 5 year. And the numbers just follow on consecutively. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Lorna, do you understand that? What I like to look for is the 8 year in your personal year. And we'll go through everybody. So literally by the end of the session, you'll know just about every single number there is. So her 8 year, which is when the money comes in, is 2028, 28, 29, 30, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2031 for Lorna is when she really makes her money, is when she can retire or she can open up some new doors and really get the harvest home. If you have an 8 year coming up, what you want to do is make sure that you're preparing for the 8 year. So 8 is a money year, a year you focus on making money and harvest home. But the big thing is most people get to an 8 year and say, oh, good, the money will come this year. And that's not how it works. You have an 8 year, which says, I want the money to come in the 8 year. Therefore, I have to prepare in the 5, 6, and 7 year. So it's setting things up so that it's harvest home in the eighth year. Do you understand how that works? And then, of course, the year after the 8 years, a 9 year, which is a year of completion. You start a whole new 9 year cycle again. Yes. So that's good. Deborah. So we're going to replace 1961 with 2024. So you've got 31, which is your 4 plus 5 plus 2024. So see how I've done that? So we're finding out what year this year is. Can everybody see that?
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Got it?
Yeah.
Cool. So we have 31. We've got 4 plus 5 plus 8, which is 2024. That adds up to 12 plus 7 plus 5 is 12 plus 5 is 17. Yes.
Yes.
So you're in an 8-year, brilliant. This year for you is your not only your 8-year, it's also your destiny year. So you've doubled up on the 8 look. You've got an 8-year there this year, and you've got your life path year, which is 8. So it's a really strong year for you, right? It's saying, this is it, Deborah. You have to love yourself this time or not at all. This is it. Get your act together, right? It's really, it's kind of in your face kind of, okay, fine, I'll learn to love myself, right? And I know you've been through some interesting times and you're doing some great work on yourself. Wow, even the difference since I met you is amazing. And that literally says, I have to know that this year is the year that I am having self-worth, that I say I'm worthy, I deserve better, I deserve more. And of course, following year is a 9-year, which is the completion year. So by the end of the 9-year, that's when you'll feel great about yourself. Now, an interesting thing about the 9-year being at the end of the cycle, and you're near the end of the cycle, it can be a marriage year too. It can be a year you meet someone new because you start a whole new 9 years after that. So as far as marriage is concerned, relationships, you've got 2024, which is an 8-year. 2025 is a 9-year end of cycle. 2026 is a 1-year. 2027 is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, 16, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16. It's a 2-year. So that is actually a relationship. So your best time to meet a guy, meet a husband, is the 9-year and the 2-year. There you go. See that?
Okay. No, thank you, but
yeah, exactly. You don't have to meet them, of course. You can have just a very nice friend. The 9 years of completion year, though, it says, I want to know what I'm going to be doing for the next 9 years. Let's plan it. So 9 years, getting rid of the old, preparing for that new 1 year coming in. And a 2-year, I quite often see that as a crossroads year. It's like, which way shall I go, this way or that way? So in 2027, you're coming up to a crossroads year. So whether to stay where you are or whether to go to a different country, whether to go to the US, wherever you want to go to, it's a year of making decisions. Because remember, the year after that is a 3-year, which is about joy, balance, and harmony. So if you can, in that 2-year, think, what would bring me joy, balance, and harmony? Where would I be? Who would I be with? What will I be doing? That's a really good year to plan in the 2-year, ready to come into the 3-year. Do you get that?
Mm-hmm.
2028 being that 3-year. 2029 then is it a 4-year or 22? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It is a beautiful year. It's a 22-year. The good news is you missed out on it being about the physical body. So I know you keep yourself healthier. Really, that's really good. So if it was a 4-year, I would say start looking after your body now. But you're already looking after your body. It's now a 22-year, which is, how famous do I want to be? What could I do which would make a difference? It's going up to the higher values. It's going up to higher levels. And of course, the year after that is a 5-year, which is a year of travel and using your voice. Yes? Good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Michelle? You there?
Yes. Hi there.
You guys are great. Are you all keeping up with me?
Yes.
Awesome. And, if you can't keep up, just ask me a question. Just say, this is so-and-so, and ask me the question, because I can't see everybody on the thing. So we have 6 plus 4 plus 2024, which is an 8. So you've got the first two numbers again.
Yeah.
Then you replace the birth universal year with this universal year to find this vibration of this year. That's 10, 18. So you're in a 9 year.
Yeah.
So this oh my God, you're doing the same thing. You're in a 9 year and it's your destiny year number 2. Wow. That is amazing. Talk about coincidences with this lot. That's amazing. So that's beautiful. So being that 2024 is a 9 year, when you come into 2025, you're opening up a whole new vibration, a whole new 9 year period. So what we want to do is do it ahead of time, Michelle. You're coming into the 1 year next year. See that? Right.
Yes.
So we start being our own person this year. You want to always want to be 1 year ahead of where you're going so that you're prepared and you're going clean. Okay. So when you come into 2025, you know where you are, you know what you want to do for the next 9 years. You've cleaned the decks, you've got rid of old relationships that don't work. And interestingly, in a 9 year, people just leave your life.
Yes, absolutely.
Really? It hasn't been interesting.
It's been spring cleaning. It's been great.
Isn't it amazing? It just goes, whoop, people leave. You've known them 20 years, you never hear from them again. It's like, what the heck? And it's like that whole group of people are now moving out and we're moving into a whole new soul group of people. Okay.
Yes.
Remember your soul group family, the people who think like us, who feel like us, who have the same values as us. You've got your DNA family, which you inherited the DNA and the lessons you needed to learn. And then we have your soul group family. And usually from about 28 onwards, you're searching for your soul group family. You're searching for the people who are just more like you. Okay. So very nice. So 2026 being either a 2 or an 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a 2. So that is a really good year for relationships, finding a partner. The only number that changes is the universal year number. The rest of them stay the same. You just add the 3 numbers up as though you were born this year. 2027 then is a 3. We know that's going to be a 3. We need to know what 2028 is to see whether it's a 4 or a 22. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so 22 years. So you've got about 2 years to prepare and then 3 years to get out there and be famous. Very nice. So we have the boys that were born this year. So this is going to be interesting. 2024. Oh, we don't need to because they're in their 6 years. So next year will be a 7 year for those 2 twins. And a 7 year is a year of spiritual growth. So given that they're twins, given that they've got a 6-year-old sister, it's not an easy year for anybody that year for them, right? Simply because the 7 is like, who am I? If I've come in with this other person, which is the dominant one, which is the one who's going to get most attention? Do I have to scream to get attention? Do I have to be a good boy to get attention? So they're working out their place in the universe. Okay. Interesting when twins choose to come in together, because you often find completely different personalities, right? And sometimes they can be best friends. Sometimes they can be just like not interested in each other. Sometimes, you know, career-wise, though, they will go in different directions for sure. So, Carol, ready? You with me?
I'm with you. Yep.
7 plus 7 plus 8 is 14, 20. You're in a 22 year this year. Woo! Amazing. Is that right? 14 plus 8? Yeah, 22.
22.
So you're in a year of deciding just how famous you want to be, just how kick-ass are you going to do it, right? It's really, and it's you're at the beginning of the year, which is wonderful. So what we need to plan is next year, remember, is your 5 year, which is your year of opening 5 new doors and freedom. So how can we start getting freedom now to make sure that by the end of this year, you've got everything going for you and you're going in the right direction? Okay.
Okay.
You then come into, so 2024 is a 22. 2025 is a 5-year, which is learning how to be myself, learning how to open new doors, etc. 2026 then is a 6th year, a marriage year. Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like you have a little more work to do before you find your husband. Not much though. You're well on the way, really well on the way. By the end of 2025, you should be walking around saying, I am a princess who is worthy of me. Yes, no, you've not got enough. Move on. Next. Really in that, yes, it's me kind of thing. Okay. Then what you'll find is, because you've got those double sevens, which says, I have to change the world this lifetime. We're looking for someone with money. We're looking for someone that you don't have to be mommy to. Because you said, I really want to make a difference as I can in my own way. And I want to change the world. They've got 7, 7, 1, and 6. So that literally says, if I marry a pauper, if I marry someone who live in a rented apartment with him, I'm going to go very low on the totem pole with what I can do. Okay. When you marry someone who's already successful, is already a leader, when you're meeting people who have a say in the word, like politicians or leaders of countries, that's when you can make this massive difference. Cool.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And literally next year is your year of travel, of opening up new doors. And with him, 2027 then is a 7-year spiritual growth. So if you had not done any work on yourself, and I know you've done masses of work on yourself, so proud of you, then that 7-year would have come in with, I married someone too early. What was I thinking? I have to get out. Because the last year was your 3-year, the year before was a 2-year when you could have got married if you'd chosen the right one. Because you were in a relationship that wasn't working, suddenly it's like it would have lasted 5 years, now it would have just blown to pieces. And you would have been back to square one again. So you did the right thing by moving on.
Yeah.
And this next 2 years is about really finding you, the solid you, who you are, the authentic you. And when you're the authentic you, you can then say, hey, what are you adding to my life that I haven't got already? I'm intelligent, I'm beautiful, I've got money coming in, I'm in my own place. Hello. What's not to love? What are you offering? Right. And you need to take that kind of
around with you more. I love it.
It's seriously, that's it. Because it's like, I believe in myself.
Yeah. I was
like,
thinking
you're really beautiful. Thank you. I try.
I know.
You're really intelligent. Yes, I am. Right. Not these things, my brain's now. Right. We're not doing any more of the martyr thing. Cool.
Yeah, I got it. I was playing around with the numbers just really quickly and I went back. And all those years of going back are so significant. Like when I like when I divorced in 2020, that was the 9-year. That was it. Like I'm starting, like that was it. We're done.
Exactly. And I'm coming into a 4-year next year. And I was like, oh, not a 4. We're not at the 4 again, right? And I actually worked right back to my birth. I went backwards with the numbers and I looked at every 4-year that came in, and the 2 and 3 years were dramatic, and the 4-year were always success years because I'd made a good foundation the previous 2 years. So what I found was I'm actually quite looking forward to next year now, because it's like it's a year for building, buying houses, buying and selling and things. And it was really interesting because originally I was like, oh, not a 4-year. I'm in the 3-year now. And a 3-year is interesting because I expected my first 3-year that came in, I was like, oh, thank God, a 3-year, it's going to be joy, harmony, and balance. The first 3 months of the 3-year were really not good. It was like, oh my God, I thought this was my joy, harmony, and balance year. What it was, I had not done any clearing out the year before.
Right.
So it came in and it was like, okay, so let me show you what you need to change if you want to be happy. Yeah. Okay, I got that one. Here, let me show you something else that's stopping you from being happy. Bam. Right. So it took me till about March, April. And then I was like, okay, now we've got the 3 energy coming in.
Got it. Okay. And one other thing I noticed too is taking care of the physical body. I'm in a year 4, and that is a very big aha moment for me because I let myself go again. I was taking care of myself and I haven't been. So that was a good reminder. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. So any 4-year, you definitely want to look at the physical body because that's really It's about literally, and opening your heart as well, of course, too.
Yeah.
So Jim, are you there? Sean and Jim?
Yeah. I'm
Jim?
here.
Cool. So Jim, you've got 6 plus 7 plus 8. I have a feeling we've seen this one before. 14, 21. Oh, you're in a 3-year. That's interesting. I was just talking about the 3. So being in a 3-year, so 2024 is a 3-year for you. See that?
Yeah.
So 3, you won't have found this last 2 months easy at all. It would have been up and down like a toilet seat. Right. So this now, what's going to happen is that it's going to smooth out as you come to the end of March, and going into April, May, everything will kind of go into its place. It'll be beautiful. Right. Last year, of course, was your 2-year, which was your crossroads year, decision-making year, romance year. It was like, who am I? Where do I stand in the world? You know, where am I? Okay. Lots of questioning last year. This year, it's all going to be settling down. And we need to find out what 2025 is, because it's either a 4-year or a 22-year. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another 22. Are you serious? Wow, you guys are all going to be famous. The 22 says, how high do I want to go? Do I want to carry on what I'm doing, or am I going to get bigger and bolder and better and, you know, really make a difference? And of course, 2026 is a 5-year of freedom of travel, of opening up, of teaching, training people, being a consultant kind of thing. 2027 being a 6-year. You don't even have to add them up. The only numbers you need to add up are the ones that are in a 2-year or a 4-year, because it could be 11 or 4. The rest of them just follow each other. So 2026 being a 5-year is a year of travel. 2027 is a 6-year, which is, of course, your first number in your numbers. That is relationships. It's the kind of year when you might have a grandchild. It's the kind of year when you might decide, you know what, I'm going to set up a fund for people who are not well off in the world. Or, you know, it's like, I've got so much money coming in now, I can do something different with it. Maybe start a foundation or something like that. So you're in a 10-year period, a 9-year period of real high values. So as long as you can keep the big picture in mind, what you're going to find is everything will fall into place beautifully. Very nice, actually. Those are good years. 7-year. And your real money year, of course, is 6, 7, 8, 7, 7, 8, 9. It's 2029, which is when the money will really flow in. So you can think about retirement that year. Cool. Awesome. Chris, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, cool. I'm going to put just 8. I'm going to just say an 8. So we've got 3 plus 11 plus 8. So the 30th of November, 3 plus 11 plus the 2024, which is 8. So 19, 20, 20. You're in that 22 year. Amazing. So, wow, you guys, this is a very high soul group. This is an amazing soul group. I'm really, really proud of you guys. It's like everybody's really on track. It's lovely. You'll meet, when you're doing your clients, you'll find people who aren't on track, by the way. It's kind of interesting. 22 year, this is a year when you just say, what do I want to focus on? How much money do I want to make so I can change the world? It's not a relationship year. It's not about getting married or anything like that. It would be, and next year is not about relationships either. So next year being a 5-year, 2025 year. Oh, you go with the years, look. 2025 is a 5-year, which is about travel, which is about opening new doors, opening new possibilities. So you've got basically a 2-year period of exploration to open things up. Okay. And then we come to a 6-year, which is definitely, do you want to get married, or, you know, is it something that you would want in your life? It's up to you. Right. But the 6-year definitely is the higher purpose. When you see, you don't have to get married. Because here's the thing, you've got a 6 as your life path. However, that 6 as the life path says, I have to have happy relationships. I preferably a happy marriage, preferably a happy, really happy relationship. However, all the other relationships need to be decent as well. And I've watched you change. Gosh, how many years have I known you now? 20 years, something like. It's amazing. What a different girl. Like, you are absolutely fantastic. Really, you've changed so much, and you really got your act together over the years. It's been amazing watching you transform. It's lovely. So,
Thank
Chris,
you.
tell us what you do career-wise. She's got about 3 careers.
Well, actually, what this is a year I'm working on my retirement residual income with my health and wellness, and that's what I have my schedule set up until June of where I'm going, where I'm going to be with my RV, and then my goal is to next year I want to do a transatlantic and go to Europe for a couple months.
Perfect. That's a travel year.
But all with traveling and talking about health and wellness for people and pets.
Yeah,
So that's it shows me that that's right where it is. And because the pace I've been moving, there's no room for a relationship. I'd be pulling them along.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't keep up with me.
Well, he would live in his house, you would live in your house, you'd meet in the weekends.
Yeah, I don't, it's, everything is just really, really wonderful, you know, right now for that one goes.
And
But
the 11, of course, is the teacher. And Chris has taught dance for many, many years now.
I teach dance. I just picked up a cello. I'm learning cello. So, and I have my e-bike. So I'm doing lots of stuff, health and wellness. I'm at the best weight, blah, 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 all that other stuff. Another time I will talk to you about my daughter who we had not talked for 4 years, and we're developing a beautiful relationship again.
Well done.
Interestingly, she's November 15th, 75, and she has an 11, 6, and a 22. 22 is, so, it's
And
very
the interesting thing that she had such a not easy childhood has forced her to learn to communicate. It's forced her to find
her life, and
self-worth.
her, it's number 4 for this year for her.
Right. So this is a year of a good foundation and making sure she looks at the physical body.
Yeah, she is. She's dropped 50 pounds.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
See, the interesting thing about numerology is you kind of know instinctively what you should be doing. And the more you go into a year and you're not doing it, the more it will come at you. It just is, it will be in your face. So
And she's studying herbology too. She's is in tune with me, studying natural health.
Very good.
Very, very cool stuff happening.
She can be even more famous than you with that 22 in the numbers. That's
She
great.
can be, and I'll let her be.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Thank you.
Good job. Misham, you ready?
Yes.
9 plus 4 plus 8, which is 2024. So we've got equals 17, 21, another 3. Really? No way. No way. This is wild. Does 9 plus 4 plus 8 go to 21? 8, 12. Yeah? You're in your 3-year. Okay, cool. So that's really good. That 3-year is all about finding joy, harmony, and balance. So remember that the peak of the year is September. So we come into the year kind of working uphill, and then we get to the peak in September, and then the next year energy starts to come in. So we're actually, as we approach September, that's really the peak of that number year. So for you, September is the peak of the 3-year. It's when you'll find you're achieving more, you're getting there, you're actually opening up those doors beautifully. Next year is 2025, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, another 22. I cannot believe this. This is like my mind is being opened up here, shall we say. You're in a 22-year next year. So that's your year of fame. It's when you say, that's it, I've been under the bushel for too long, I'm going to shine my light. Okay, so absolutely, writing a book will be amazing. Have you started writing yet?
Not a book. I write all the time, but I don't have a book.
Because you've got the 4, which is grounding, and you've got to change the world. So either you're going to do course outlines where you can teach people, or you're going to write a book. And that will actually, if you can finish it by the end of this year, it would be fantastic. Get it on Kindle, get it out. Or, just a 10-page downloadable that you can get famous for with Kindle. You know, something which is a how-to book rather than a novel or something like that. You've got the 9 and the 7. It's got to help the world, right? It's got to heal the world, in effect, right? And that's great, which leads to 2026, which is a 5-year of travel and using your voice. See that? Michelle, look.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool.
Then, of course, 2027 comes with the 6-year. And again, that would be a year when you might have a grandchild, or you might decide to join a foundation. I would not join a foundation. I would be setting up a foundation with you. These numbers are too strong for you to just be a team worker.
What year is that?
2027.
Okay.
2028 then is a spiritual growth year. Interesting with the 7-year, I find it's very often a year when things happen that are outside of you that you can't control. And it's like a wake-up moment. Like when I think I was 50, but maybe I was 50, and my best friend of many years just died 6 weeks start to finish, cancer. And it just threw me for a loop. I was like, what happened? And then I realized I had not been looking after my body. And she had not looked after her body. She didn't do exercise. She ate the not right things. And I was like, you know what? That is so much a lesson for me that if I want to stay alive, I'm going to have to start working on it. Right. And I remember it very clearly being a wake up moment. So it can be like an old parent dies, or a grandfather dies, or someone who's influential in your life. It's always outside of you, though. It's not usually something that happens to you. Okay. So 7 years is definitely a wake up call year. 2029 then is your 8-year of money, honey. So you're going to really, really enjoy 2029 because everything you've been putting in is paying off. And of course, the following year is a 9-year, 2030, and the 9 years completion. And that gives you the whole next 9 years to say, what do I want to do with all this money and all this power and all this fame and this glory? Right? It's like you can definitely starting an academy with you. We want to think about starting an academy. So, you know, and mentoring people for sure. These numbers will really lend themselves to mentoring people. The 4, remember, foundation. The 9, helping people. The 3, joy, balance, and harmony. 7, change the world. So you mentoring teenagers or young people, fantastic. Good?
Good. So Jim and I have the same universal year cycle. We're both
fantastic. Oh, yes, fantastic. However, if you're both in a 7-year together, just spend a bit of time apart. Or if you're in a 4-year together, spend a bit of time apart. It did like quadruples the energy if you're both in the same kind of year. So, you know, in an 8-year, that's fantastic. You're both in an 8-year. It's like, hey, I'm making money. Are you sure? I'm making money too. This is amazing. And usually in an 8-year, it really is harvest home. You'll get unexpected checks, or you'll get unexpected bonuses, or you'll get unexpected opportunities. Really, I've never yet met an 8-year that I haven't adored. Okay, so very important. Yeah, very good. Good job, Roxanne. You there, Roxanne?
Yes, I am.
Plus 8. So you've got 1 plus 8 plus 3 plus 8. So that's 11, 12. You're in a 3-year as well. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Yep. Oh, interesting. So yeah, you're in a 3-year. And like I said, the 3-year is self-empowerment for you. It's very definitely a self-empowerment number. It's a year when you have to say, I made this decision because I made this decision, and I don't care what you think or say, I'm going to be my own person. Okay, so this first 3 months of the 3 years, definitely the struggle to get free, if you see what I mean. It's a struggle to say, you want me to do that? Doesn't work for me, sorry. Right? It's like, oh, you want me to help me move house this year, this Saturday? I'm busy. I'm just going to take a day off and go to the spa, actually. It's about being naughty. I want you to treat this year as a naughty year. Okay. So, because you've been super compliant most of the last 2,000 years. And that 1 says, this lifetime, don't make me compliant. I am going to so push against it. Okay. So you would have started out the same way as the last 2,000 years. And right now we're coming into our power and we're getting like, yes, like, excuse me. Okay. 48 is an interesting year. How old are you right now?
I just turned 59.
Oh, wow. You don't look anywhere near that. Holy cow. That's really interesting. So 48, usually I find that people about 48 years old, for some reason, 48 comes up a lot as a year when you go, you know what? I've been a doormat for how many years now? I'm going to change. Right. So I want you to think back to when you were 48 and think, what happened 11 years ago that made you go, you know what? This can't stay the same. Right. Because that's when, and usually when you've got a job to do for God, it's after 48 that you need to do it. Really, before 48, it's about learning how to do the job for God. After 48. So people who've been working for God for 2,000 years, suddenly you come into a year when at 48 and you think, oh my God, all I've been doing is working for God. I haven't been working for me. It's about the first 28 years, finding out who you are. And then you can do that. It's the oxygen on a plane metaphor. You take your own oxygen first, and then you can help other people. If you're helping someone else and you passed out, you're no use to anyone. So it's about fulfilling your own needs and then helping other people. But beautiful. So next year, 2025 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a 4-year. So we've got to look after the physical body and the house. Remember, 4 represents where you live as well. The 4 is the house, the property. So if you don't move house, you're going to redecorate. To me, that would be for you making a room in your house, your room that you work from. Make it very special little spa place for you with a little Buddha in there and, you know, nice colors and ohms and music and things like that. So having literally making your own little space, your own place. If you can do that this year, you're a year ahead. Right. And, you know, where you can bring clients as well and sit and have clients where it will be quiet kind of idea. Yeah, it's actually really good. I know you look after your physical body, so we're not concerned about the physical body, but we need to be careful about not over drinking, not overdoing things, right? As we come into 2026, you're in a 5-year of free choice in the universe. So this next 2 years is spreading out and finding out what I love to do most and what makes me the most money. Then 2026 will be opening out even more, adding in a few new skill sets. When we come to 2027, then it's a 6th year of literally saying, right, I'm going to trim down what I'm doing. So I'm just going in 1 or 2 paths and not 10. Right. So it's opening out the doors, new doors, finding out which doors are the ones worth staying open and then closing the ones that don't. Okay. And then, of course, 2028 is a 7-year of spiritual growth. In 2025, there's what I'm picking up is something around relationships. So you've got to decide in that 2024 where you stand in relationships. Do you feel, and 4, remember, is a trap, a prison of your own making. So you have to, you can still be in a relationship and not feel like you're trapped. But if you feel trapped in any way, that's the year to absolutely move on. And it needs to be by September 2025 at the latest. Get it? Cool. Gwen, are you with us? Gwen? Oh, there you are. Okay. Put yourself off mute so I can hear you. Bottom left-hand corner, click it where it's got the little microphone. There you go.
Yeah, I just pop-up thing kept on getting in my way.
Yeah, so very definitely with the 5-year, it's about maybe taking till June to kind of sign up for a few things. And then from June till September, October, that's when you're learning. So the time you come to the end of the year to October, November, you've got the energy of the 6 full in. The 6, remember, is humanity. It's about making a difference. It's about where's my place in the world. Cool. And remember, relationships not being your top subject and all, because you've got that 6 right up front. However, like I said, it's not anybody who's got the 6 is really good with everybody, but the personal relationship, and that's usually because they didn't have a great relationship with parents. And it's usually, it kind of rolls over. Remember, guys, that you marry what you didn't sort out in your childhood. So if you're still not meeting the right kind of people, you need to work on yourself and get rid of that childhood stuff. It's in the way. Okay. So releasing the childhood is super important.
So can I ask you, Vaughn?
Yeah.
So I feel like I actually God just got married 2 years ago, and we've been together about 11 years now.
Yeah.
And we've kind of known each other for probably close to 15 or 15 years.
Yeah.
And I felt pretty good about the marriage part. So would there be something else about the number 6 that would, because I feel like that's good for me.
Put your hands up like that. Okay. So on the right hand, the little finger and third finger are quite apart. On the left hand, they're good, they're close together. That literally, this is divorce. What
Oh, okay.
you've got on your right hand, this is what's happening with the current relationship. So you've pulled away from it a bit, Gwen.
So meaning that there might be some.
No, not at all. Your left hand is great.
Oh.
Your left hand, this said that 90% of it's working, 10% is not. Right?
Gotcha.
So we've got to work on the relationship this year to make sure it carries on. So going for date night, you know, having cuddles, having great sex again, you know, doing little play games or whatever. It's really focus on the relationship because you're coming into that 6th year. Right. And
well,
remember,
it's wonderful because he's my guinea pig for everything I do like this.
Exactly. Fantastic.
Yeah.
See,
So
6 years about relationships. The following year is a 7-year. So if you carry on and that right hand keeps doing this, it says, I'm just ignoring him because I'm busy. And then you end up in the 7th year thinking, what happened? Why don't we talk to each other anymore? Okay. So beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
That's great. That's 6 right up front. Here's the good news, guys. If you've got a 6 or a 2 in your numbers, you will meet the love of your life. If you've stayed with the not right love of your life too long, you'll still meet them, but you won't have the right love. So when you know you're not in the right relationship, it's time to cut and move on straight away. No hanging on thinking you can change their whole personality. It doesn't work. So yeah, Gwen, that's great. That literally says you're absolutely bang on track. You're happily married. You're helping people. You're learning to be your own person, work for yourself. The 7 is going to take you to the higher level then next year. The 7 life path that you've got coming in is going to take you to the higher level. So it's like, what can I do to make sure that I change the world and, you know, make a big difference, make my mark? So yeah, you're absolutely bang on track. The 7 year then usually is a year. It's the kind of year you have parents who get sick and you have to say, do I really want my mother to live with me? Or, you know, it's like I've seen people throw the whole lives away by having the parents live with them. And that was what they've done in previous lives too. So it's like, oh, if you're ill, you're in a home. Sorry. It's like, really, we've not got to give up our own self-empowerment for the sake of others. Yes, we help. However, for their benefit, for their life lesson, they need to learn that independence too. So it's the kind of year when you'll be given a choice whether to self-sacrifice or whether to keep on the path you're on and make a whole ton of money. And I think the ton of money is the way to go with that one.
I agree.
It would be the kind of year when your mum's like, I'm alone, now my husband's died, your dad died. Can you come and visit me every day from work? And you go, sure. And then before you know it, you're doing it 3 years later and you've given up everything. You've got to be super careful about falling into that little trap. 7 year particularly is, what is it that you really want in your life and what you need to know that will really help you be happy? That's it. And of course, it's about money. So you've got the 8 year coming in, which is when you're going to make some really, really good money. Excellent. Yeah. Awesome. Jake, is Jake around? Oh, go on.
So when we have an 11 year, we just turn it into a 2.
No, never turn an 11 into a 2.
Like the 227 was 11, isn't it? 2027?
Oh, it is. Hold on. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 2027 is in 11 plus 6 plus 9. So that's 26. It's an 8 year.
Okay, perfect.
It's still an 8 year.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Is Jake here or not? Because I'm going to still do his numbers. Oh, you're there. Excellent. Really, I'm glad you. Oh, we're all here. Excellent. Full house. Brilliant. Very proud of you guys. So, Jake, we've got 9 plus 3 plus 8 this year. This is the vibration of this year. So you've got 11. It's a 2-year. Wow, interesting. So a 2-year for you is a crossroads year. It's a year when you absolutely need to make some decisions about which way you're going in your life, which you're doing beautifully. You introduced a whole new vibration last year doing the Masters NLP and really opening up that whole new vibration of life coaching. The 2, you need to be careful not to spread yourself too thin this year. So not doing full time with the machine and not doing full time with the life coaching and hoping that you've got enough hours to fit into the day. It would be finding balance and, you know, maybe even fitting the 2 together. So you can do the biofeedback machine and then add in the life coaching afterwards, which would be amazing. So you've got like your time split. It's also a year of relationships, a 2-year. So that would be have a look at the relationship with your girlfriend, see what needs fixing with it, and what is working, what's not working. Oh, I've got a very nice plant in front of my face now. That's cute. Can't see myself, but I can see the plant. So here we've got, like, this year is about making sure that the relationship's balanced. Because by the time you come to September, you're coming into the new energy of the 3-year coming in. You've got 2-year this year, next year's a 3. And that next year in 2025 is a joy, harmony, and balance and self-empowerment year. So if you can keep this year balanced, then you go into next year full on, and it's going to be fantastic. Success in every area of your life. So the next year after that is either a 4 or a 22. Let's see. So yeah, it's a 4-year. So that says be careful not to go into too much debt, not to think, oh, I can have a whole business and I can spend a fortune on 60,000, I can borrow $60,000 and fix up this office that isn't mine and go into debt. We're not even looking at that. The 4 is pull back, make sure you've got the money grounded, make sure you've got the business grounded. It would be too tempting because you've got the 5-year the year after. 2027 is the year then to expand and maybe go into a limited company and things like that. But be careful about 2026 because it says you can take chances, but not risks, right? And we've got to make sure that the relationship's being ticked on the head, patted on the head. We've got to make sure the career's been patted on the head. We've got to make sure that you're being patted on the head, that everything is nicely balanced. Then you go into that 4-year and it's just consolidating what you've got. So you do a super foundation for the rest of your life. Do you get that? Cool. And then 2027 being a year of travel, you could easily set up like an academy or a training group where you go around teaching and traveling. That would be amazing. And of course, the following year being the 6th year, you're going into a year, you're coming into some interesting relationship years. All right. How old are you now?
I'll be 33 next week.
Oh, congratulations, well done. 33, 34, 35. So you're not going to get married in your 35th year. That would be a nightmare. You can get married in your 34th year. You can get married in your 36th, 7th year, but not in the 4-year. Don't ever marry in the 4-year.
Okay.
It may be a good foundation year. However, it can bring issues with it. Right. It can bring a trap with it. So my recommendation would be probably later. Like are you thinking of getting married?
No.
Okay. So to me, 24, 25, 26, 27 is a 5, 28. 2028 is your best marriage year.
Okay.
And it could be that this relationship will go into a marriage, or it could be somebody totally different. I think the decision for you is going to be in 2026. Do you feel trapped, or do you feel that this is like expanding outwards and it's fabulous? Cool.
Yeah.
And remember, I do believe in fate, and I also believe free will always trump fate every single time. Okay, so you're always going to be on top if you follow your own star and do your own thing. If your GPS is set, you'll more or less go down the same line. What most people do though is this. They're like, I'm going for that gold at the top of the mountain there, and I know exactly where I'm going. Oh, you need help? Okay. And they go off the beaten track and go that way. And then they go back on again. They go, oh, oh, you're cute. I know you're not good for me, but I really like you. And they go off this way, right? And it's like people are always tootling off into the boondocks. And all it does is it puts a pause on everything. And as soon as you get back on your GPS setting, that's when you know because you feel good. Cool? All right. So Yoshi, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, good. So 9 plus 2 plus 8 is 19. You are in a 19/1 year. This is interesting because you're in your number 1 year. You've just started your whole new 9-year cycle this year.
Yes.
So what that means is that everything, it's like, what's in it for me this year? There's no other thing to be said this year except what's in it for me. And if there's nothing, I'm walking away. Okay. You've gone through a 9-year cycle of really not an easy cycle. And this year is your whole new chance to make it beautiful. Okay. Being the 1 year, it's like if it doesn't serve me, it's gone. Okay. The next year is 9 plus 2 plus 9. It's a 2-year next year. So 2025 is definitely a crossroads year for you. Do I stay or do I go? Which way do I go? And it definitely needs, you need to take a definite path and not sit on the fence. Okay. It will all turn out well though, because in 2026, you have a 3-year, which is joy, harmony, and balance. Okay. And 2024, 25, 26, 27, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You're in a 22-year that year too. Holy cow, there's no 4s anywhere. This is amazing. The 22 really says, I'm going to be famous for what I'm doing. So to me, your 2-year, which is next year, is the most important one here. What it says is, I need to make sure that next year is when I know I'm definitely got my GPS set for fame and changing the world. Because you've got that 22 coming in your face. Okay, and it will give you travel. It will give you an amazing amount of clout in the world. You'll make a huge difference, which is what you came here to do, right?
Yeah.
Very nice. But next year, this 1 year is about me saying, no, this isn't for me. I'm getting out of here. Next year is about which way do I want to go, this way or this way? And all of them need to lead to you working with more people and being in a busy place. Right, which we talked about, I know.
Yes, yeah, I remember.
Yoshi wants to go off into the universe and just wave at people from the countryside.
From the mountain, yeah.
I love you. Yeah, she's in the mountains in Costa Rica. Like, why? Oh, because I really like this last 2,000 years of doing that, and I want to do it again. It's like, no. The idea is we change the last 2,000 years. Okay, no, but I'm really proud of you. You've done amazing. Yeah, really.
Thank you.
Many. Last but not least, where are you?
Yeah.
9 plus 2 plus 8. 90. You're in exactly the same year as Yoshi. Not interesting. So you're in a 1 year. And this is for you a new beginning, a rebirth. It's like literally opening up the whole idea of what I want to be when I grow up for the next 9 years. If you can set up a 9-year plan that you can vaguely stick to, you'll do amazingly well this next 9 years. For Yoshia being in this place where she is now, she's got like 1 or 2 years to make some decisions. She hasn't got 9 years to play it out. Okay, Manny's in a really good place right now. So you're really in a place where you can plan the next 9 years and decide what you're going to do each year. As you come into 2025, we've got 2025, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're in a 2 year as well. So next year, you'll be juggling a lot. So this is how you start using your intuition. Next year, it's a 2 year for you. For Yoshi, it's an absolute black and white year. Make a decision, move on. For many, same year, it's a 2 year. But this is about where you've got 2 things on the go and you've got to decide where to put the emphasis. You can actually do a parallel line year where you can actually run 2 things at once. In 2026, you've got a 3 year which is about joy, balance, and harmony and self-empowerment. So what your decision is next year is which direction will lead me most towards self-empowerment. That's it. And of course, we've got 2027. Seriously, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's a 22. I can't believe this. I think there's only Jake so far hasn't got the 22, but that's amazing. So you're in a 22 year in 2027. Be as famous as you like. So famous on a low level, or you can be famous on a big level. Okay. So did Yoshi go? Yeah, Yoshi's the same. Yoshi's the same path exactly as many for the next 3 or 4 years, right? Yoshi is not in a great position though. She didn't do the stuff beforehand to get herself now where she's ready to jump off the diving board. Manny's at the point where she's ready to jump off the diving board, so we can go for it. With the Yoshi, it's like, no. Go back to the lower board, have some practice, then you can jump from the higher board later, right? So yeah, it's very, very interesting when you get into these numbers. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to show you what I did for you on the slide.
What's my money year, the big year coming up?
Money year is?
And my marriage year.
And what?
My love year and my money year.
Your love year can be this year, or 4, 5, 6, 7, or 2028. This year or 4 years ahead, depending on how famous you get. See, if you focus on getting famous this next 2 years, relationships will be a placeholder. If you focus on relationship, and because I'm on fame and fortune, and because I've got fame and fortune, I'm meeting some amazing relationships, oh my God, then you can totally meet him this next year or 2. Right? Definitely you're married by 2028, though. You've got really 2029. That's a really, really good year for everything. And that's when you have your higher purpose fully in as well. And again, we're looking for someone who can do your life purpose with you. So he would have to be successful. He would have to have lots of friends. You don't want to babysit anyone, many. And here's the thing with any of us, we want to make sure that whoever we bring into our lives, we're not going to be babysitters, because we've been babysitters for 2,000 years. And it's very important that you say, what can I be equal with you? When I'm down, can you pick me up? When you're down, can I pick you up? Has to be 100%, 100%, like that beautiful sign for infinity. It's not 50-50, it's 100-100. Okay. And if you can keep to that, you're going to be doing great. Wow, well done, everybody.
Dr. Yvonne?
Yes.
2 questions. You said it before, there's 2 exit times in your life, or no?
You can have as many as you like.
And is it a certain number?
My mother had 4 times in her 80s when any day she could have popped her clogs.
But what decides that? What number? Is there a number that?
No, it doesn't. Usually it comes in a 7-year, a 9-year, a 4-year for sure. A 4-year is definitely about the physical body. So, but it can also be a 5-year, because that's you getting your freedom. If you've had cancer for many years and you're just like, I had enough, I don't want to do this. A 5 years like, get out of this body, let me free. Okay. The one to watch is the 4-year with the physical body.
Okay.
In a 4-year, you have to be looking after your physical body, or you're going to meet some not very nice times after that. Okay.
The other question is, if someone doesn't want to disclose the year that they were born, you really don't do it, right?
You're not doing
it. Okay. Thank you.
It's not, you've got to have like a base place to start from. Yeah.
Yvonne, I have a question. It's Karen. Okay, so you mentioned universal year, and then we're now talking about life plan year, where we are currently. Now, universal year, that relates to
universal year. It's simply, what year is it? Nothing else.
Oh, okay, okay.
So you're born in a universal year of this, and this is 2024 universal year.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Get it? It's not. There isn't, and it's just called the universal year. It's the year that everybody experiences the same way.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Perfect.
Dr. Yvonne, I have 2 questions as well.
Yes.
You had mentioned the beginning of the year is March, Is that on a lunar
That's in the 3-year. No, that's in the 3-year. If it's a 3-year, the energy has to get rid of itself by the time March, April comes.
Okay, so that's only for the 3-year.
Yes, the peak of the year is usually September. So you do, if you're in a 3-year now, the first 3 months will be spent like getting rid of stuff. Then it'll get better till September. Then it peaks. And then you've got the energy of the next year coming in already by September, October. It's starting to pick up on the next year's energy. That's why we need to plan a year ahead always, or 2 years. If you've got an 8-year in 2 years' time, boy, you need to be setting up your money thing now, not wait till the 8-year, right, to start. If you've got a 6-year coming up, you best get, and you haven't got a relationship, you should be out there, where are you? It's like, oh, you look cute. I want someone special in my life. You could be it.
Okay, great. And then my next question is, if someone has a birth year of 11, do not break that down when you're doing their numerology.
No, don't break it down. The birth year of 11 is 11. It's like a master teacher, master illuminator. And it basically says, I will become illuminated and then I will illuminate others. Okay. So it's like, I have to learn this. I have to become an old soul this lifetime. Forget the old, not knowing. When you do the victim thing, those are the young souls. Those are the ones that didn't really catch on that they chose this lifetime. They chose the parents. They chose this life path because they needed to learn some lessons, and that's it. Okay.
So November and December, we do not break down into the lowest common denominator.
In what?
For the month. The month of November and December, we do not break down.
Dude, December's a 3. There's only 3 numbers, Michelle. You got 11, 22, and 33. They stay the same, whatever.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. There's this big fashion, and I've been reading, and I'm like, why are people doing this? They're saying it's only the life path year is the master number. But if you've got if you're born on a master number day, an 11 or a 22, it means you've got a job to do. It's not a 2, it's an 11. It's not a 4, it's a 2, it's a 22, right? So we want to make sure that all the only numbers that stay the same are 11, 22, 33. That's it. You'll very, very rarely come across 33, and it's usually only as the life path.
Okay,
so let's talk about what kind of numbers we can use to find out more about ourselves. Let me share the screen with you. And here we go. We're sharing the screen. So we've already done your date of birth, of course, and the date of birth is by adding up your day, month, and year separately. We've got 3 numbers, add those 3 numbers together, and then we get your life path number. And then we add, if it's a double digit or more, we add those together, and then that comes up with a single digit, which is your life path number. If it's 11, 22, or 33, we leave it as it is because that's a master number, and we know we don't touch the master numbers. They stay the same. Your destiny number, or this is what we're going to do next, is your expression number. It's found by your full birth name as it's written on your birth certificate. So including middle names, etc. It's the whole of your original name, the vibration that you came into the world. So we add each number separately, comes to 1 number. It can be a triple digit at this point. We add the 3 digits, 2 or 3 digits together, and then we come up with your destiny number. And if it's a double, triple digit, we add them together unless it's 11, 22, or 33, in which case we stay the same. Your soul age number, your heart's desire, is found by using only the vowels in your birth name. So again, write out your whole birth name and write down just the vowels, add the vowels together, the numbers of the vowels together, and you'll find that that will come up with your soul age number, your heart's desire. Your birthday number is found by your actual birthday. So whether you're born on the 5th or on the 19th or on the 23rd, that's your actual birthday number. And of course, you add those 2 numbers together, or usually 2 or 1, and you'll come up with your birthday number. Your personality number is found by using only the consonants in your birth name. So adding together the consonants in your birth name. And each number has a letter with it. So I'm going to show you in this little table next how to do that. Your full birth name. So you'll notice it's A to Z or A to Z, and an A is a 1, a J is a 1, and an S is a 1. B is 2, K is 2, T is 2, etc., all the way through to Z, which is an 8. And we want to literally write your full birth name down with separate numbers under each letter. We don't care about making it 3 different numbers. We want to just make it 1 row of numbers and total the numbers together. So let me show you how. Yvonne K. Harney was my original birth name on my birth certificate. Originally, they were calling me Baby K for the longest time because they couldn't work out what first name to give me. So if I'd been born K, whatever, it would have been a different destiny number. As it happens, what I did is I looked at the Y, which is a 7, V, which is a 4, 0 is O is a 6, 5 is 5, 5 and 5, N and E, K is a 2, A is a 1, Y is a 7, H is an 8, A is a 1, R is a 9, N is a 5, E is also a 5, and then Y is a 7. We add all of those numbers up together, we total them, and it comes to 77. Then we have the 7 plus the 7, which is 14. Then, because it's 2 digits again, we add up 1 plus 4, which is 5. So 5 is my destiny number. And that means that I have to learn to use my throat chakra. I have to use my voice with my work. 5 is about free choice in the universe. 5 is also about not having too many excesses, so not going wild when I get here. And 5 is also about communication. So typically, you'll be born in, if you've got a 5 as a destiny number, you'll be born into a family group that don't communicate well, or who tell you not to use your voice. So in the end, what we have to do is choose our parents so that we can actually say, no, I found my voice. I have free choice in the universe. Let me out of here. 5 is also a number of travel. So I love travel. That was my go-to thing, is travel to make me happy. So then once we've done that, you can look it up on your tables. I've included it in all the notes. You're going to find out how many letters of each number you have. So I have 2 1s, I have 1 2, I have no 3s, I have 1 4, 5 5s, so very, very weighted on the 5s, which is to do with communication. 6, I have 1, 7, I have 3 of those, 8's just the 1, and 9, 1 again. So if you look here, it's very, very strong on the 5s. And my mother was an amazing communicator. So I was born into a family who were very articulate. They were both very articulate, very good at communicating. And the one that's most important here is the one that's missing. So the 3, I have no 3s. So I need to have a look up and see what is 3 to find out what is it, what's the biggest lesson I have to learn this lifetime. I'm missing number 3, so I have to find self-empowerment, joy, balance, and harmony this lifetime. So go ahead and find out how many letters of each number you have, so that you can find out where you're covered and where you still need to work on, what you still need to work on. If you look, wherever you've got a 1, that means your base is covered. Where you've got a lot of a number, so I've got a lot of 7s, I've got 3 7s, so I was born into a family who were very spiritual, and the 5s, born into a communication family. The 3, where there's a 0, the missing number, says that in the family group, there isn't self-empowerment, joy, balance, and harmony. So I have to find it myself. So go ahead and find out where you, number 1, where you have some really good skill sets. But there's a number 1 has got 2 there, which is very much, it means that we tend to be our own people in this family, which is not easy to get on with. And like I said, the ones that your bases are covered, where you've got a lot of those numbers, that's where you've got a good skill set. And the 0 is where what you need to focus on to make sure you stay balanced. So let's go on. Your destiny number is your heart's desire number. It's your full birth certificate name, letters added together, and then they come to a single number or master number. Your inner motivations, hopes, dreams, and wishes. This number applies to not just people, but businesses and also countries. So if you've got a business name that you want to do, make sure that it has up to a good destiny number. If it's very much a business about money, you want it to have a lot of 8s in there or add up to an 8. If it's about giving and doing something for humanity, a foundation, for instance, you definitely want it to add up to a 7 or a 9, or a 6, of course, which is about giving back. And also the countries. So whatever country works for you best too. So if you add up the numbers in each letter of a country, you'll find out if that country is going to vibrate to your vibration. The cornerstone is the very first letter of your first name. It's known as the cornerstone. It represents your approach to life. It reveals your overall outlook and the ways you use to reach your birth opportunities and setbacks. So how do you tackle both opportunities and setbacks is the cornerstone, the very first letter of your first name. The capstone is the last letter of your first name, and it also shows you how you really feel and how you find closure and follow through on projects and commitments. Together, the cornerstone and capstone show your ability to both start and accomplish or complete your goals. So I have Y at the beginning, which is spirituality. So it's very important to me to follow high values. The E is the capstone, and that's about communication. So it's important for me to have integrity and communicate. The first vowel in your name has a special meaning. It expresses the fundamental essence of your soul and what you hold close to your heart. It's what you wear on the inside and what most others will never see. It reveals the real reason behind all your inner motivations. So my first vowel is a 0, which is a 1. So it's very important that I'm independent. It's very important that I am an innovator. I want to actually get out there and be my own person. Cool? Your soul urge, your heart's desire number. So first of all, write down the vowels in your birth name and add them up to a single digit. Y counts as a vowel if it sounds like a vowel. So for instance, Yvonne is definitely, the Y in Yvonne is E, so it's definitely counting as a vowel. K is not a vowel, so it stays a Y. It's not not counted as a vowel because K actually sounds like a Y. However, Harni again is going to count as a vowel. So I've got two vowels, two Y's which are counting as vowels. So the soul urge you desire, number 1, if it comes to number 1, you desire to be a leader and inspire others. If it comes to number 2, you need security, you need to feel comfortable, sensitive, and you are intuitive. If you have a number 3 soul urge, your heart's desire, you are a born entertainer, an actor, a poet, or a singer. If you have 4, you'll need stability, practicality, logic, and structure. 5, we want you to be enthusiastic, charismatic, you face your fears, you travel, and you watch excesses. Number 6, if you have a 6 soul urge, you need harmony, balance, diplomacy, love, close friends, caring, and the need for appreciation. 7, independence, analytical, self-development, a truth seeker, and space in a relationship. So it's very important you have that space. If you have 8 as your soul urge, you need money, power, success, and wealth. And you also, of course, need to balance between ambition and happiness with that number. The 9 is concerned with global consciousness and serving others. Sometimes it's not to your benefit because you give too much. You're idealistic, generous, and unselfish. You need to leave a mark on the world, and giving is breathing, but be careful to get your needs met too. Your clear thinking. 11, the master number 11, is a unique spiritual journey. You have a strong moral compass, not an easy childhood, wisdom and solid judgment, and a great depth of character. 22, another master number, you need to leave your mark on the world, spiritually, financially, or politically. And of course, the 22 can be famous within your own field or famous worldwide, your choice. You are powerful, you are intuitive and understanding, and you have practical ability with life. You make a positive contribution to the planet and to people. And finally, 33, the master teacher, spiritually evolved, understanding, and empathetic. You see the best in everyone and forgive fast. You love arts, beauty, harmony. You're expressive, but usually slow to reach your potential. I usually find 33s usually after 35, they come into their own, and then you get your leadership ability. Okay, so we have now a good basis of numerology, and go and play with your friends, go and enjoy finding everybody's birth number, everybody's soul destiny. And of course, if you're going to have a baby, or you're going to have a friend who's got a baby, make sure that their names include all the numbers, hopefully, so that you can actually get them coming in on a nice balanced expression. Okay.